Last we left off, hovering above the technological city of Silmia, one who you've had a smattering of underhanded and overhanded dealings with. Um, this time to turn in a bounty, one that's of a pirate that has wronged them sometime in the past. Um, him and two of his lieutenants, totaling about 100,000 gold between them. Or 70,000, but you got the access from the treasury. You were directed to just dump the bodies in a hole behind the desk of a prison. At which point an individual, a half-elf curly hair, top hat and tuxedo, just came in and ripped the hole off the ground. And just left, really, but kind of dumping the allotted amount all over the floor. At the same time, Chris is also getting his new gun. A customized wall gun, or war gun, depending on your accent. Fist-sized bullets, heavily modified, and can shoot through walls. Whether you'll keep it, or whether you'll actually give it to the person you intended it for, that's up to you. Zero and Nyx had some fairly deep conversation in the middle of an alleyway regarding, allegiances and the past. Hopefully ending on a more structurally sound note. At least for one of you. But money picked up. You decided to more or less deliver it immediately to Bethis, heading to the Silverwind Trading Company's office building. Speaking with Tannen for a little bit. He offers his aid, as he usually does. But he also tells you that he'll deliver the money to Liz Ricaldi. Though you forgo his help, like usual. And just dump 100,000 gold worth of money just on the floor in the middle of her office without any warning. So that'll be a fun surprise for her when she gets back. You also take this time to check out the Great Hall of the Ten, see just generally what's up with that. You found some chanting monks just kind of weaving through the headstones and crypts, mausoleums and such, waving censer around, just kind of coating everything in a fine smoke. On the way there, you met a individual just kind of hanging out by some bloodied gallows. Dark leathers, a hood over the head, can't see the face, it's just a void of black. And sort of playing with the dagger, who you surmise to be the goddess of death, blood, murder, stealth, Maith. She offers you her aid in the form of one gil. Just name someone and that target will die, in theory. Giving Zero, as you're the one who picked it up, a blood-red dagger, which you were told in your own head, this is not to... You don't have the permission to kill someone with this dagger. But you may write with it. And check out the Great Hall of the Ten after that. Speaking with many of the priests there, the great, the Hall of the Sea, Hall of Light, just seeing what all the preparations are. And preparations are being made. With, Ungvar turning the whole hall into like a drowning trap, summoning the sea directly, fishing contest and such. The presence of the upcoming invasion seems to be heavily felt by all the priests. A simultaneous dream coming to all of them at the same time, apparently. And you end your encounter doing just drinking coffee upside down and doing like handstands with whoa for a bit. And you decide to end your night heading back to the fort that Chris built with your horses in tow, seeing them for, first time in a while. Fury still keeping things held down, and having a night's rest in the relative safety of a mysterious fort in the woods. Let's see my notes here. I think, yeah, so you'd be coming off the tails of a long rest by this point. But you all do awake. Far past the afternoon. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. You guys were up for almost 24 hours, I think, last night. So you're all a bit groggy. The sun, despite how gray the sky is, you can still see it, lighting up the day for you. But that is where we pick up. 100 invisible spectral servants already preparing a lunch. You can hear the sense of frying bacon, bread being baked, butter in little neat butter trays. But that is where we pick up.
Riley's gonna hand one of the servants a piece of octopus.
Sure. Oh, yeah, and despite it really having never seen or even know the concept of an octopus, you just see the octopus, one piece of the octopus just get invisibly picked up, floated to the stove, and immediately being, or cutting board just being cut into little, octopus cubes. For some reason, you see them being put onto, wooden skewers. And then another special servant begins to just roll out this little charcoal grill. And you're gonna get some grilled octopus in probably a couple minutes.
Hell yeah. You know what? I'm also going to... No, never mind. No, I'm not.
Did you take out that corrupted tentacle from the food pantry?
I think we decided on doing that, right?
Probably.
That's in the dragon, though. Or it was in the dragon. If it's still there, I'm removing it now.
Yeah, it's still there. You kind of had to step over it to get the bodies of
It's wrapped in cloth, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Why the fuck did we take this?
Yeah, just in case.
I'm gonna give it to Chris. You might want to throw this in a dimension or something.
I guess I could put it in the corrupted one.
Okay, you cast Demi-Plane to open up your drawer of corrupted materials.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. They just open up the square portal that just goes into your Demi-Plane cube. You just yeet it in amongst the other various... some of those things have been in there for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like a year plus?
Yeah, like the thing that I sniped out of the sky.
Yes. Yeah. When was the last time you checked this Demi-Plane?
In-game time? Probably a few weeks.
Yeah.
At least.
Nothing's been corrupted or anything, but it doesn't stop decomposition. Some of the older, I guess, corpses you've stuffed in there. I think you took some from I think you've stolen almost every corrupted creature that you could and just stuffed it in there at some point. Yeah, some of them have been rotting. So the moment you open the portal, you get hit with this wave of rot stench, which you kind of do, I think, if you've opened this up a couple times. Make an investigation check, though. Okay. Some of the older like specimens you stuffed in there, yeah, like the thing you shot down. You see that like decomposition still takes a while. Like a year is not enough time to fully slough off all the flesh off a body. But a lot of the stuff you've seen there are mostly skeletons at this point. Maybe something about the corruption like speeds up decomposition. The interesting part that you find is that like it leaves this almost beautiful, if a bit grotesque and morbid, like just the skeletal structure with the, you can see the corruption just kind of weaving in and out of the bones, almost like this lattice work, almost artful. These very small striations and grooves kind of carved into the bone itself to make these kind of angular, almost fractal trenches in the body of the bones itself. It probably even dips in and out to making tunnels as well. But it also erupts into small or large spires of sharpened glass. Probably the ones that have been jutting out of the body, exposed to the air. It's almost like this, like a scientific diagram. Those like skeletons you would put on like a rack to study the human anatomy. It's almost like that, except for a corrupted organism. That being said, they are still likely very corrupted. So no touchy. But all the same, you eat the tentacle in there, see what it's going to behave like.
I guess I'll turn to Riley and be like, yeah, I don't want to have my bones turn out like that.
Wait, was Riley going into the dimension with him?
You can look into it, you don't have to go into it.
Oh. Well, we all know that it starts itching first, so... At least the symptoms are obvious.
Is hopefully that's not a way to control these corpses.
Have we noticed that kind of behavior in enemies that way? Like with the corrupted enemies? Or like things? Because I think the last time we came across like actual specimens was like underground, right?
What kind of behavior?
Like using things that have been corrupted as puppets. Did that happen?
Possibly. You may have to be more specific.
Because yeah, it was what Zero and Deirdre noticed that like souls were being manipulated or whatever. But is that inherent to the corruption, or can they just do that?
Zero and Deirdre, I believe, spotted these souls being kind of like in agony.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, you've been told and observed something like this, where it's for some creatures of corrupted nature, their minds and souls are intact. It's just literally their bodies are being puppeted. So like the ones you fought on the island when Evandro crashed, they were still able to kind of speak with you, vaguely, but their whole bodies were just being like, yeah, like if someone like installed motors in all your limbs, they were just piloting you around, but you were still fully cognizant and aware of your surroundings.
Were they technically dead?
Not really. That's the thing. Is that they were still speaking, kind of, begging for death.
Right.
But you've also seen other creatures where they didn't really have that kind of really like forced nature to them.
So from that very little information we have, we can probably assume the targets have to be alive in order for them to be manipulated. I mean, why else would you have biospawn?
Depending on the strain of the corruption. Because the esoteric dragon is technically dead that we found out, but
Well,
the
we don't.
strain is different.
That's true. We don't know if the dragon itself is a risk or if it's just what has infected it.
Where's Zero in all this?
I'm not going in there. I'm probably just chilling.
You around?
Yeah, I mean, we were gathered around a table or something, wasn't we? Weren't
If you wanted to be.
we? I mean, yeah, I'm probably with. Who's with us right now? I know Nyx is here. Did Claudine? Because
Like she-
we're back with the dragon at the fort, so.
Yeah, so the entire crew can be here if you guys want it to be.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm hanging out wherever Claudine and or Nyx are.
Yeah, they're probably around the, around the fort as well. Probably around you guys too. Whatever
Actually-
gaming hall there is.
Actually, no, yeah. While the boys are doing that, I would like to spend this time to bond with my horse child.
Okay. Puck.
Yes.
Okay. Make an animal handling check. Okay. That's the highest you've ever rolled on these, I think.
Shut up.
Yeah, and Puck's excited to see you. This little, not quite pony size, but definitely not like a foal anymore. Yeah, just like, still skipping through the snow. The hooves washed of the blood of the wolf. And as you're just kind of like, playing with this baby little horse, you see Fear, you're just kind of staring, overwatching, but not interfering. Yeah, and Puck's just kind of prancing around you through the snow.
Hee good. Also, which of you boys would like the Destiny Bender today? I used it last session.
Let's roll for it. Evens, Riley, odds, Chris. Riley it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, but what's the move?
Well, we have to get Lydia home, so Fairhaven would be nice.
Yeah, I could do
It's
that.
also Or
What was it?
the horror that we have to go to.
Oh, yeah. At some point, not to say these two are any more important, but we do still have to go back to Dane for the train situation. And then at some point, I'm guessing we're going to stop in Calbay to give Shorty her gun, right? Or was that gun for you, Chris?
Well, yeah, I was gonna give it to Ezra.
Okay. So,
Oh yeah, that was her name, right?
on the to-do list. But yeah, I can teleport us to Thane, I believe.
Well, Fairhaven.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah. I was looking at Thane. Yeah, can I? So, I mean, because I think we talked about this before. Like during my downtime, I was doing a lot of teleporting, and we'd agreed I'd collected like stuff from Silnia and Obethus and stuff like that. Is it fair to say I have stuff from Fairhaven?
Did you go to Fairhaven at any point during downtime?
I guess theoretically, maybe. I guess I don't know. I mostly did it because I intended to steal from marketplaces. If they don't have a big bustling marketplace, then I guess I probably wouldn't have. So we would just kind of be going off of the chances, whatever the chances are that we've at least been there before. I would think.
Well, we're in a good spot to just fly there at the very least.
That's true. How
Yeah.
long would it take?
From where you guys are, 220 miles. How the fuck's the speed of this dragon again?
many?
Big number.
About 2 days.
That's not too worse. We got 2 days.
I don't know if we got 2 days.
We
Is
do.
it-
We can teleport off the dragon and do stuff that way.
That's true. Okay, so while the dragon is headed to Fairhaven, what else could we go do?
Attempt to get to Hauda if we want to throw ourselves into random forests over and over.
Do we want to try our hand at the cowbay thing? Because I think the cowbay thing can be relatively quick, and then we can spend more time in Howdah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay. Trying to think. When did we go to cowbay last? Was that before the downtime?
No, it was after.
This is after.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
we brought Jane with us, so Jenna has not been around.
right, okay. Then, yes, whoever would like to go to cowbay, I can get us there with the gun. Because wait, no, not the gun. I didn't get the gun from cowbay, of course. I'm taking the gun to cowbay. Do I know approximately where I would land if I use I know I bought a weapon and I bought armor from the blacksmith in Calbay. Do I know where exactly I'll be teleported? Like exactly in his shop?
No. But you'd be teleported somewhere around the shop for sure.
Okay, I'll take that risk. Do you think they'll be upset if we show up like that? I mean, I guess we. No. We're cool now, right? We can just. Bowen, what do you think? Can we just show
Probably.
up unannounced? Okay.
It's not like we're
but-
bringing our fucking dragon in.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Then I will communicate this to what's her name, Lydia?
Yes, you're talking about the peasant serf you got from Pirate Land.
Yes, our surrogate mother. I will communicate it to Lydia, and I will use the stuff I got from the blacksmith, and I will teleport the Zodiacs, Zia, Nyx, Claudine, and what's his name can stay here. Well, I guess no, because wait. Did we want to let Bruce stay here in the fort and take care of it, or how did we briefly talked about
we're
it last
still at the
session?
fort, that's right. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's also Chris's fort, not ours. So
That's true. Chris, do you want to allow Bruce to stay here?
Yeah, he could do maintenance.
The hilarious part is he doesn't need to. You have
Because you have
100
the-
invisible, inexhaustible magical servants to do that for you, but he can do it as an employee.
Yeah, you could
If anything,
probably-
what do I? Good.
Oh, I was gonna say, you could probably gather hay.
That's true. He can
Yeah.
lead the premises.
I was gonna say I'll leave him with. I think I have spare weapons. What do I have? Okay, yeah, I have a messer. I'm going to give him my messer and tell him this is for self-defense purposes, but ultimately, if you encounter something out here, your best bet is to run. The horses might help you, might not. Wouldn't rely on that, but we are tasking you with taking care of them while we're gone, as in collecting food for. And I'll point to the normal horses. I know he can't see Fury, like really Fury, but I'll point to the normal horses and I'll be like, "You will look after these horses." I'll look him in his little beady eyes, and I will lean in, and I'm happy to roll an intimidation check. I'm going to say, "Don't touch the fucking horses." But you are responsible for gathering food for them.
Make an intimidation check.
My browser's being stingy. Hold on. I rolled it. I don't know if it came through yet. If it doesn't come through, can you roll it for me?
Yeah, I can do that. Oops, that's your echo. In that Kimigation. That one. 23. Which I think is... Yeah, because you're proficient intimidation. That's the lowest you can roll.
Yeah.
So you're just inherently menacing to everyone you meet. Yeah, you... God, fucking rogues, dude. Yeah, you hand him the messer, which to his size is like a two-handed greatsword for him. But he kind of like lugs it over his shoulder, and you say, "Don't touch the horses," and he's sort of, oh, exactly the same rolls. He sort of goes, yeah, okay, hey, yeah, that's fine. I'm not into horses. What are you talking about? I'll gather grass and flowers. Yeah.
Keep their water fresh.
Yeah. I'll find a lake. I'll find a lake and or a river. Yeah. I'll keep the place looking spick and span. You don't have any like warmer clothes, do you? I'm still kind of rocking these shorts. Who's God?
I have the mammoth fur. The mammoth pelt.
Just a fucking whole side of a mammoth.
Tiny gnome.
It's a house-sized blanket.
Oh, you'll never want for fucking heat again.
It'd be the fucking like swordsman who cryptid. You just walk through the woods in the winter and see this giant slug of fur.
He's gonna be looking like. Hold on, I have to grab an image. Fuck.
Simon, for a little guy his size with the mammoth fur, does it provide any AC for him? Like the pelt? I would think the mammoth pelt is like thicker than other pelts or something.
For his size, possibly. It will also slow him down, but at least he won't die.
Yeah, I'll give him the mammoth pelt.
Sure, you drop a mammoth pelt, which is probably heavier than he is, honestly. And he sort of looks at it. I mean, I was hoping for close, but
Well, I don't have clothes right now, so this will do until we get back.
Yeah, I'll find a way. The thing about Bruce is that he's resourceful. See?
Right.
But I won't be resourceful with these horses.
I will squint at him, then I will go back to the rest of the group.
he has to drag the pelt out, like with both hands, like he's lugging like luggage that is far too heavy and overpacked, and the plane will not accept. And he's just, you hear some thudding as either him or the pelt or both go rolling down the stairs into the snow.
Wait, can I try to? I'll go down there and see his crumpled up body. Can I try to cut him a square of it, almost like a make him like a tiny caveman, like a little shawl of mammoth fur. Like I'll cut him a little square of it and let him have a little poncho made of the mammoth.
Just make a raw dexterity check. Good at these. Okay. Yeah. It's not neat, but it is serviceable. The mammoth pelt becomes well, there's still a good amount left over. It's enough to like kind of wrap around his body to keep him mostly warm, especially against like the wind and everything. Like this is comparatively for the temperatures the mammoths were meant to survive in, this is fairly mild. He's going to be fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna point to the rest of the mammoth fur. I'm gonna point to him and I'm gonna be like, wash that while we're gone.
Wash it. It's fucking
Yes.
fur.
Clean it, it stinks.
I'm not the one that didn't tan it properly. Fine.
Bubble drakes could help.
Please no. You see the one that's like, you see one kind of peek its head out and like stare directly to his eyes.
100 servants is not enough.
Not to the specifications of the bubble drake. I should know, your place has never been cleaner since you got the bubble drakes. Everything's been polished and waxed. It's great. Yeah, see Fury kind of walk up to Bruce. He's still kind of disguised the entire time, but he drops the whole thing, revealing the black skeletal unicorn horse. Bruce just kind of looks at Fury up like this majestic beast in front of him. He kind of looks at you guys. The fuck is this thing?
Something from another plane. He's masquerading as a horse. He likes meat.
You don't need people, do you? Fury just stares at him. He doesn't need people, does he?
No. If you don't want to find out, make sure there's meat on hand.
Okay. Well, I'm not much of a hunter, but okay. I guess I'll go chasing rabbits with this fucking sword. I'll bake myself at home. I'm getting paid for this, yeah? This is like a job? Like a position. I'll take janitor.
Here's one gold.
You're getting basically free room and board, is he not?
Yeah, but you know, it's a livable wage, you know?
Out of character. It doesn't. I mean, I don't know the extent of the spell. Does this place not provide, like Magnificent Mansion does, like food and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
There's,
like
servants and stuff.
rooms. It has turrets, I believe.
Not literal turrets, like medieval. It's not like fucking like Rim World where you have like
No, I was about
bullet
to say,
turrets.
that's not what I asked you, but okay.
Turrets as in like the tops of a tower, like the whole like you ever see like a tower and see those like little like teeth projections up, like people can stand up there and shoot at things. Essentially, is what the medieval definition of a turret is.
I believe there's like 3 levels per.
Yeah, I'm gonna squint at him and I'm gonna say, we're giving you free room and board, and this place provides food.
Okay, you know, it's fine. Alright, I don't want to argue with you. I'm taking the high road today. We'll have a discussion about, you know, like benefits and employee, you know, like minimums.
I walk away.
Fine. He's just walking towards the fort as Fury just continues to stare at him. Puck goes up to him, and then Bruce kind of like Puck looks like he wants to be like, you know, the play, and Bruce like backs away. He's like, fuck off, I don't want to get killed yet, and then just walks into the fort.
Yet.
Fury just kind of looks at you, Riley. Would you like to make an insight check?
Yeah, I think I would. Where is my insight? Right there.
It's pretty good.
What's the Haunts thinking?
The Haunts is somewhere between questioning your decisions to let this thing stay with you, and also almost like halfway insulted, like to you know, like you gather that this is not your intention. but also he was doing fine by himself.
What, like taking care of the horses?
Yeah, and just generally the floor, I guess, but mostly the horses.
I'll reach into my bag, grab a piece of shark, throw it at him, and be like, think of it as splitting the workload. More time off.
Yeah, Fury continues to look at you for another, like, 5 seconds and just takes the shark meat before Puck gets to it, and then, you know, begins to chew through it and just walks towards the rest of the horses and just kind of lays down.
I'm gonna look at Zero and say, look at what you've made Fieri think of this.
I mean, if anything, he can go back to doing whatever he wants to spend his time doing now.
Well, I kind of did say that in so many words.
I'm trying to think. I mean, what the fuck else could Bruce do? I'll say to Riley, like I'll even make a face like I just got the idea. Like it's to prepare for a heavy winter, and you know, depending on how things go in the near future with the impending battle, we might not be back again for a while. So this is just extra help.
Collect firewood.
Oh yeah, there's things that Fury, respectfully, there's some things that Fury can't do. Like theoretically, open a door and start a fire. Well, he opened a door, sure, but like, can you go upstairs and open like just a regular brown doorknob? No.
It'd take him a while, but he'd get it. Same with starting a fire, I imagine. So yeah, splitting the workload. Let's go with that.
Man, DM was right. Having a gnome NPC is a lot of responsibility. I don't know what to do with him. I'm trying to find a way to keep him busy.
Yeah. I mean, if y'all die, he'll be here for another, like, 300 years. So,
That's true.
future-proofing. You know how long Fury will live. Possibly longer, possibly shorter.
Fury
Well, I don't
can't
really
die.
want to make him Fury's problem.
You all die 100 years later, fucking Bruce and Fury bickering like an old couple.
I would hate for that to be the timeline that we leave this behind.
I agree. So we can't die.
Can't die. Not because the fate of the world's at stake and everyone you care about may or may not become like.
No,
fucking-
we can't die because Zero fucked up.
Keeping the gnome.
Gotta why?
That's the true bad ending.
Bruce survives. Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
Next campaign, he's the fucking one building the town.
God.
This is true. This is how towns get built. All it takes is one safe haven with enough resources around.
I hate that we like
Religion out of this.
unintentionally are laying the groundwork for the next game. That's crazy.
Yeah, I picked this location because it's near the Palm. Could be a good trade route via the water.
That is true, actually.
That is true.
Yeah,
there's a nice
there's a
little
river.
harbor in there. You could build a settlement in here. Surprised there isn't one.
Yeah,
I
well,
hate
it's
it when
fucking.
Chris has good ideas.
Yeah, it does a weird thing where sometimes the current will just reverse. So it's like,
Oh yeah, that's true.
a little strange. Yeah, that is a direct line to, not direct to Abethus, but close enough, and also to Duzamar. There's a river that goes to the source there too. Yeah, it could be a town here. Yeah, otherwise the closest trade would be. I'm doing world building while mid game.
Yeah, that's you.
That's
You're
me.
doing that all on your own.
Yeah. I look at a map, I'm like, damn, I cooked. And then Brian gives me good ideas here. Alright, but Bruce offloaded onto the actual functioning person of this fort. Yeah, what are you guys doing? You're sending players to Fairhaven while you guys teleport to Lorono, if I recall.
Yes, I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll send Polaris to Fairhaven with Lydia. Does she have food?
There's food in there.
Probably.
Okay.
If there isn't, I'll leave behind some fish.
I'll be right
3
back.
pieces should be sufficient.
Okay.
Sufficient.
Get out.
Okay.
Dang.
Hi, I'm back.
Hello. It's a fish and crazy.
Riley, you take a point of psychic damage.
Alrighty. Can I Destiny Bend out of that?
Sure, if you want to spend your Destiny Banner for the day, you can.
I don't. Take the damage.
Well, it's like every bad fish pun you make for the rest of this game, you take 1 psychic damage.
Well, ain't that just the bones?
Is that a fish pun?
Could be any animal.
Fish have bones.
So do humans.
Damn, you got me. Okay. Yeah, so Chris is comatose.
Yes, I will then, teleport us to that blacksmith in Calpe.
Okay.
What's it called? Lorona?
Lorono is the city's name. You are heading to Swords and Boards, run by Herman Smith. Some sort of apprentice to the fucking god of forging that lives like 2 miles away from him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Okay. But you go from the somewhat chilly interior of the interior of the fort to the somewhat chilly interior of a city, the ringed city of Lorono. Find yourself, you're not sure how the magic does this, but you find yourself in the exact place of purchase when that sword became yours. And like it's wherever it was linked to the the place where you got it, more or less. So right outside the dude's forge, in his backyard, more or less, right near the anvils, right near the fire, modest wooden house, 2-storied, and just the scent of burning charcoals in the air. It is, you all appear right in front of him, directly in front of him. He's like mid-swing and he sort of screams, ah! Falls to his ass, and you see the middle-aged human man, large, bulbous nose, brown hair with a receding hairline, just still covered in charcoal soot, and just a nice, for a blacksmith, a nice apron, made of like some tanned leather of some kind. You hear the hammer clatter across the stones. Holy shit.
Oh. Our bad? Didn't realize we'd be teleporting straight into shop.
But it's, Tony again? I don't... Oh, no, you bought stuff, yeah.
Did I buy stuff from Mr. Smith? I don't remember.
I know, one of you did.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that's sorry, it's hard to forget such a motley crew. I'll be honest, not many people have just appeared in my store, but hey, I'm not here to shuck off business. You have business, yeah?
Potentially. I'm realizing now maybe the conversation I should be having should be with... Ooh, Simon, what is the leader of Calpe's name?
That would be Imperator Gimmet Courtry.
Gimmet?
Gimmet.
Okay. I will look to the blacksmith and I'll just say, I'll get back to you on that. You may be involved in it, yes, but I think I should probably speak to somebody in charge first. to get an okay, I suppose.
Okay.
Back.
Oh, your friend came back. You said something eating flies.
I'm gonna look at my friends. Which friend are you referring to?
Or all you here or to Zero?
No, all of us.
No,
are.
here.
At
yeah, all of us should be
Lebrono?
here.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I brought all of us to Cowboy.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be there to
Yeah.
give the gun.
Okay. You wake up from your coma.
Oh,
I had a senior moment there.
Basically a teenager for in elf years.
He got dementia already.
oh no.
God, can you imagine getting early onset dementia as an elf? That must fucking suck.
400 years of it.
Yeah, if I guess I'll be here. Okay. Right?
I'm actually gonna turn to Zia and be like, "This guy has some interesting weapons. Do you want one?"
And armor.
She kind of
He
looks.
doesn't need armor.
Yeah, she kind of looks around. She doesn't see anything currently, but she kind of looks at you and just kind of like nods a little bit, or like a shrug nod. She's like, "Yeah, all right."
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I need to put up tongues because there's no way she understood that.
She got the gist.
I forget. One of us crafted something here, and it was interesting. What was interesting about it?
Ooh, let me look and see what I had gotten. I know I got a few goodies from here.
Did you get a fishing rod here from Robbie?
Did I? I think I did.
Yeah, he got an Arcanite fishing rod.
That's
That's
what
been
it was.
useful.
Arcanite. That's what it was.
This dude specializes in Arcanite, like weaponry and stuff.
That's what it was. Okay, I'm just gonna. Zia can do whatever she wants, and I'll just pay for it.
Damn, Riley.
Oh, she ain't got no money.
Sugar daddy.
You gotta say it like that, damn. She ain't got no money.
This homeless woman, she got no money.
That's crazy. That's
Unless she's
crazy.
picking up stuff from the rogues.
Well, there's no evidence of that.
She had sticky fingers in at least 300 years.
Oh, I am gonna turn to Nyx and cast message, and I'm gonna say to her, "This man's very hardworking, and this country is very punishing. Keep your hands to yourself."
She kind of looks you directly in the eyes and in your brain says, "I don't think I'm the one that you're supposed to be telling that to."
Wait, Claudine's never been to this guy, right? When we brought her here. Yeah, because we found her. I went to Thane and I got her before she killed the guy, and then we came here for like a spa day to regroup, and then we came back to Thane to kill the guy.
Yeah, I had my own private spa.
Oh yeah.
Then you helicoptered in the middle of everybody and got kicked out.
Naked.
I think he gave me a warning, but
What about spin, Chris?
I'm gonna give a single nod to Nyx in agreement, and then I'm gonna turn to Claudine. I'm gonna say the exact same thing in sending, and just say, "This man is very
She's
very
not here.
hardworking, honest." What'd you say?
She's not here.
What? What?
He said he would be around.
Make a perception check.
For Claudine?
Yes.
I know where my girl at. Give me that.
Depends how good she rolls on her stealth.
It's the middle of the day.
Yeah. She's a sneaky little lass. You stealth in the middle of the day all the time. That's a 31.
Oh
Damn,
my God.
I can't even fucking detect that.
That's the lowest she
Okay.
can roll, I think.
That's
Nope.
the lowest she can roll?
No, that lowest she can roll is 27.
That is... Oh, wow. So she has to be exceptionally horrible for me to be able to detect her. That's crazy.
That's wild. Okay, well then I will not turn to look at Claudine. I will simply turn in a direction because I don't think I have to be able to see the person to be able to cast message. I think it's just within 100 feet of me.
I think you have to point in the general direction at the very least, I think. But you could flail everywhere and try to get something.
Can I just flail my dumb arms and just try to make it hit?
Yeah, sure. You just
I mean, I love how you said that like you were joking, and I'm like, yeah, I do that, and then you're like, wait, okay, fine. Like,
This is illegal.
like, don't
You can't
suggest
flail.
it.
You can't move your arms. What do you think this is?
Don't suggest it if it's not an option. Don't look at me like I'm stupid when I do this stupid thing you just suggested I do.
I'm not looking at you stupid. You do it. You want to flail your arms
Okay,
around?
fine.
That's fine.
Yes, I will point my fingers outward and slowly spin until it takes. And once if I feel it take the spell, the cantrip, I will say the same exact thing to Claudine. This man is honest, hardworking, and has, you know, a good heart probably. He's a chill guy. He's a buddy. And this country is very... It's where Merritt grew up. So if that's some point of reference as to how brutal they are potentially in punishment, keep your hands to yourself, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Eventually, you feel something take, roughly in the direction of the interior of the house. About
The house.
about 20 seconds pass, and you look up and you see Claudine crawl out a window. She's good at climbing though. She crawls out the window, kind of like clings onto the eaves of the roof, and then climbs onto the roof and just does a little shushy motion. Slowly closes the window behind her with her foot.
Can't take nobody nowhere.
About 2 rogues with you. You still shit all the time. Claudine's just not picky.
I will turn to the boys and I will say, okay, from here I'm probably gonna go speak to what's his name? Gimmet?
Gimmet Courtry. It's like Comet, but a ge. Gimmet.
Gimmet. It's also like damn it. Gimmet.
Gimmet.
Gimmet. Okay. I will say to the boys, I'm going to bring what guns I'm carrying on me to Gamut and see if he's willing to take them, if they want them even. You are free to come with me, or if you want to stay here and shop, or Chris, if you're gonna go look for Ezra, whatever y'all want to do. Actually, Chris, you have the rest of the guns, don't you? In your pocket dimension?
Did we put it in there?
Yeah, we had the pocket dimension open, and we had your demon helping us load shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I do have a bunch in there. You want me to come with? And then just dump it all out?
Well, if they accept them, yeah, I guess theoretically they could also just say they don't want them, but I mean, I think they could use them. Anyway, do you want... Actually, I'm wondering now, should we... Simon, do you have an approximate number as to how many guns we got from that night?
Maybe...
If you don't, I know I wrote some stuff down somewhere, but I think I only wrote down how much I have on my person at the most.
Let's see here. The amount of guns is not one of the things I wrote down. I think it was roughly like, I think 500 or something like that. It sounds about right. Because you stole like a lot of fucking guns, like crates worth of guns.
Yeah, we stole a lot of guns and a lot of gunpowder.
Yeah, that would arm a good city guard.
Yeah, city guard. Not enough for like a full-on army, but the fact that there's no standing army with guns other than Sylnia right now, so that's going to be it'll be a game changer in terms of political power shift.
Because I'm wondering, obviously I don't want to add more tasks onto the plate that we already have that's filling up pretty quickly. Theoretically, we could give some guns to... I'm not saying guns are the solution. I'm saying we're all heading for war, but we could give some guns to Cowbay, and we could theoretically give some other guns and the other half of the guns to Narset. That just wouldn't be the priority because it's already... There's no way to teleport to Narset. We'd have to go the long way around, and that's a fucking headache. Actually, No, if Narset wanted the guns, we could just take them up to Thane, and they could just teleport the guns out with them, could they not?
Probably. Teleportation is a little bit more forgiving in terms of teleporting objects, which is how they're getting in and out, so...
Well, I'll worry about Cowbay first.
We could also share some of these guns with the Smith guy, and then he can kind of experiment and become a gunsmith himself.
See, that was originally my plan. I like that idea because I just like this guy for some reason. I think just because he learned under Osmond, I kind of felt a little trusting of this guy, but I don't want to just introduce guns to Cowbay and smuggle guns in the country essentially without asking the leader of it.
Yeah.
And then also like incriminating this guy.
Yeah, we could just showcase.
Yeah, and then if they want to get him involved, I'm sure. I don't know how many blacksmiths there are here in this town, but
Yes.
I'm sure I'm sure he'd be happy to get involved, and yeah, they can experiment with the builds and stuff like that. There's really not that much time, so they'd probably just have to work with like prototypes for now. But I think just introducing them to guns at least could theoretically, I don't know, even some of the playing field with Sylnia. Some. Okay. But yeah, if whoever would like to go to see Gamut, I'm gonna begin walking towards. I mean, I guess I'm not really too familiar with the area, but I know how to get to the what's the building called where he was at?
Good question. Let me find that. The Pale Watch.
Pale Watch. Okay. Well, I'm gonna head there if you'd like to head with us, Riley, or if you want to hang back and chill out with Zia, whatever.
Gonna let Zia pick out a nice weapon or two, depending on cost.
Damn, you're putting her on a limit? Damn.
Well, my limit is my wallet, right?
Sure, I guess.
Out of curiosity, how much do you have in your wallet right now?
About 5,000 gold pieces.
What a coincidence! This will cost exactly 5,000 gold pieces.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay, but Zero and Chris, God, their name is so normal, I never remember them, are going to the Pale Watch to talk to Gemmet Courtry, the Imperator of the Bronze Legion. And Riley's hanging back with the blacksmith to go weapon shopping, more or less, for Zia.
Pretty much.
Okay. I think Claudine's going to go with you, Zero. And Nyx is actually going to stay behind with Riley.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start with Riley first. As, the good half of your party leaves to go do political shit. And for some reason, Nyx stays back. Just kind of looking at you. Zia is still just kind of... It was just looking around the outside of the building. There's really nothing out there. Herman just kind of looking at Zia. Looks back at you, Riley. Does she, do you want to buy something? Do you want to buy something? Alright, yeah. He kind of clasps his hand together and he kind of flexes a little bit. Despite his, like, pretty normal, like, middle-aged frame, once he flexes, you can see, like, the tense fibers of muscles that are hidden underneath the dad bod. But he kind of just claps his hands together. Alright, miss. So, what kind of, implement of death or protection can I interest you in today? Did you cast Tongues on Zia yet? Or no?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. She just kind of looks around. Kind of goes... something, light. Oh, both, yes. In, weaponry and, defense. Right, yes, I got that. Honestly, not quite the most popular things I saw, because there are lots of big, brawny guys around here that like to, prove their prowess. So, right, and he begins rummaging inside the store. Zia kind of follows in, and you hear some chatter back and forth. And yeah, Nick's just kind of sitting outside there with you, Riley.
I'll turn to Nyx. Anything catching your fancy here?
Honestly, no. Well, I don't see any goods, but she kind of taps the hilt of the dagger. I think you have the same understanding that we don't really need much outside of these, do we?
Well, I did commission a fishing rod from this guy. There's other uses.
I suppose. But it wouldn't mesh with my fighting style either.
Maybe you could find, I don't know, gloves or cookware or something. The metals here are very durable.
Yeah, she kind of goes over to the now vacant anvil where the guy was working on whatever piece of metal he was. It's still like hot, but it's not glowing red, it's glowing blue. The fires are red in the forge, but the metal itself is kind of like this dull blue. She kind of looks at it closely. Arcanite, right?
I think that's what he called it.
Yeah, haven't seen much about this. Either way, I don't think I need much from here, and I don't want to really burden your wallet.
You're light on cash then.
Not that I'd admit that, but yes. At least not to Zero.
Well, we have been dragging you around everywhere, and Zero's been pretty uptight about not pilfering, which is understandable, as with the exception of last night, we haven't really been in areas to pilfer from people who deserve to be pilfered from.
When the time comes, I'm sure all of the three of us will have quite the glue on our hands. But speaking of Zero, you seem to a tad more approachable with this topic.
Hmm?
Where did you first meet Zero?
Oh, we were in Imus. We were betting on some sort of a trinket, and I'll bring out the trinket. I wanted me a souvenir, because I didn't have anything to show for my time out here. Selling fish and whatnot, but three others kind of beat me to it. So we agreed to split it.
And what was Zero like? Did he seem
Skittish. Bit panicky all the time. Bit susceptible to schemes, I suppose it would be. Got possessed by a dark god at one point.
How did that
They've
happen?
been on. Does Riley know how that happened?
You know,
Do we
I've-
do we know?
I've
do any of us?
I feel like I would have told you guys, especially considering I think at some point I specifically told you and Chris not to touch the pearl even after he was already out of it. I was worried about it.
Oh, okay. We found a pearl in Fairhaven, and apparently he was just stuck in there.
And Zero touched it.
Something of that. I mean, it's a pearl. Kind of hard to not want that, right? Maybe pawn it off somewhere. Oops. Death god inside.
Well, if anyone would be possessed by a death god, it would be Zero.
Yeah, and if anyone would stop being possessed by a death god, it would also be Zero. Pivoted to the knowledge one. I don't know how they did that. But it's been quite the boon.
I could imagine. So distressed and panicky.
Bit of that.
Hmm.
To begin with, anyway. They've regained composure over the last bit. I think having, literal gods on your side helps with that. Also, the situation in Fentu has improved drastically. That was probably the main thing weighing down on them.
Yeah. Nyx kind of looks just kind of past you, just into the distance. Nothing in particular. Okay. Well, thank you for telling me. I was just
What?
curious.
Did they not mention any of that?
I just... I don't know if awkward is the right term. It's just... I don't know. I feel like we've both become very different people. So I just wanted to see what Zero was like from an outside perspective.
Well, I've found little issue with them. If anything, just the sticky fingers getting them into trouble sometimes, especially in relation to a certain guns factory. But I can blame Chris for that more so.
Yeah, that's why you seem the more approachable of the three of you.
Well, it's not that Chris isn't approachable, it's that he's insane. He'll feed you the truth, but he'll spin it in a way that makes him seem like he's the good guy for doing objectively horrific things.
He'd be a great member of the Pure Soul Dogma.
Well, we can be thankful that he's not interested in that then.
Well, maybe on the Dogma, but certainly what the Dogma represents. Or defines, I suppose.
From what I understand, racism, right? Hating tieflings.
Well, that's the outward expression of what they desire.
Is there something deeper than that?
Well, the core tenet is worship, in a way. Worship of Len, specifically. Purity. All that kind of...
Ah, look how far that's getting them. You saw the situation in the cities.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but... It's cold of me to say this, but I don't really think it's my problem anymore.
No, and they have bigger fish to fry coming up anyway. If they can't get through this, they're probably not going to survive what comes next.
I don't think they're going to survive what's happening now.
Well, that's Len's business, not ours. Speaking of, your new god, Whomst.
It's a god of change. Just, I suppose the opposite of stagnancy. Even good things have to come to an end. Bad things have to end. Things just need to shift every so often.
Did Riley overhear her speaking about how she has to become the new one?
Were you standing outside the door when there was a conversation happening?
I think I was, but I don't recall.
I don't remember if you were specifically eavesdropping or not.
I don't think I was. That's the problem.
Yeah. Make a preemptive perception check, and it has to be pretty fucking high.
Yeah, I mean, well, if anybody's gonna get it, it's Riley. Well, probably not, but never mind.
Yeah, not good, but not, if you weren't specifically eavesdropping, not high enough to remember.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, she kind of goes, just a god of change. Plaisa. What's her name?
It should come as no surprise that I'm unfamiliar with that. Been a little bit caught up in my own politicking, as it were.
I suppose a simple way to remember her is just to look at the evening or morning horizon. That brief bit of twilight between one side or the other. She's the middle of the coin, right along the spine.
That's really so it's less change and more transition.
Well, change. Transition is related, but not quite the same. The coin will flip, is the point. Heads, tails, night, day. This place is always that spot between when it does flip.
That's probably a pretty good domain to have, actually. There's a lot of people who wish for change.
I think so. The hard part comes from changing things that are good. Even ones that should stay, they can't always. I mean, right now everything is kind of horrific. But
Changing constantly, so a pretty good time to be God of Change right now, I think. We're in that transitional period.
I think so. And yet, if we all survive this, things are good eventually. Things will change again. War will happen, another invasion, or disease, famine. It's all Plaisa.
Oh, that does make me wonder how much influence the gods have over things that would happen anyway. Can Plaisa make things happen that wouldn't have happened otherwise?
I think it's more tipping the scales. The scales will always try to balance out. Plaisa just kind of puts a finger on one side or the other. Stagnancy is... it can be poisonous if it's left to kind of fester. Complacency is stagnancy. It's being okay with the state of the world because it's not currently affecting you. Sorry, I don't mean to get on a religious ramble here.
No, it's interesting understanding the perspectives of people intertwined with gods that are not my own.
Speaking of your own, you have a fish god?
Correct, she's a fish.
God of fish?
God of storms in the sea?
Ah, well that's more impressive.
Just happens to be a fish, so Ebel's gonna have to make a room. I would like for their rivalry to be a friendly one rather than completely adversarial.
She kind of chuckles and gives you a very warm smile. Like a one of a friend that you've known for a long time.
Does it seem genuine?
Make an insight check.
Insight.
Hard to read. Which you're not sure how to feel about that. Her smile is hard to read.
Insane actor.
Or being genuine. It's hard to tell one way or another. Yeah, and you can believe whichever one you want. But she gives you that warm smile regardless. She just kind of chuckled herself. I don't think your god and Apple are going to have a very friendly rivalry like you want. Frenemies, for the time being, given the current circumstances. But after that, well, I think they're going to have... about how big the ocean is, I don't think they're going to want to share.
Ocean's plenty big. And besides, I'm going to be on it.
Well, I wish you luck in your god battle. That's after we save the world.
I've still got another 400 years of things to iron out before I depart for the next life, I suppose.
You have time.
Yep, and I'm sure plenty of things will change in that 400 years as well. No, assuming I get to live all 400.
Things will change. She kind of taps the pommel of the dagger. We'll make sure of it. Eventually, Zia does exit the building, carrying 2 items. One is a curved sword. It looks
Scimitar again.
That's the thing. It's curved like a scimitar, but it looks like it has the kind of the hilt of it has a disc hilt, longer handle. It looks like a more or less a katana that's been modified.
Interesting.
It is made of that green metal that's been viciously curved now. A very intricate green-blue disc guard that almost looks like a budding lotus flower. The handle itself is beautifully wrapped in multicolored blues, purples, and pinks of some kind of fabric, with the interior tang of it, so that very blue green shiny metal. She's holding that on top of what looks like an outfit of some kind. It's hard to tell what exactly it is when it's all folded up like this, but you can see arm guards and shoulder guards that almost look like a wicker lattice almost. Curved wires about a finger thick that all intertwine with each other to form some sort of bracer or shoulder pad. Possibly the whole outfit's like this, but it's all bundled up right now. She just kind of looks at you expectantly.
Alright, Smith, how much is that gonna run me?
Well, whole thing. Well, the armor is about 1,000. The sword about 400. Actually, let me check my ledger here. Yeah. So 400 for the weapon.
And 1,000 for the armor.
Yeah, but you guys are my friends, I think. So I'll give you a friend discount and stay 1,300.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. She kind of smiles, excited and warm. Kind of looks at the smith, Herman Smith, and he kind of goes, "There is a bathroom in the back. You can change in there. See how it fits. Well, you know how it fits, but show off to your man here." She kind of just goes back and is out of sight while Herman goes up to you. Right, so 1,300. Yeah. I'm not picky about the coin type either.
Well, it's not like you deal with dragon slices here in Calbay.
Well, no, but some people are picky about where you minted your coin, because they don't accept dynasty coinage and such.
Dynasty, as in the Reis?
No, the Jade Dynasty.
Oh, that's what that means. Oh, okay. No, I think I got most of this from a dragon's lair, actually.
Oh, it's even older and more foreign, then. That's okay.
I mean, you'd probably know better than I.
Oh, yeah, I mean, most merchants don't even check, honestly. But some do. Most don't, some do.
Whatever the case, 1,300, all yours.
Okay. You hand up the coinage. He kind of picks out one gold coin. Oh, that one was from 1,000 years ago. That's actually 3 times the price. That's okay. Yeah, he just kind of he doesn't really pocket it, but you just carry it like on him. Eventually you see he walks out, like full sheath and everything, but you see a full set of armor. It is light armor, but it is Arcanite, and it's more or less the same kind of like lattice work, the weaving wires all around the arms. It makes like a kind of like small like chest piece that like branches out into like similarly like flowery looking shoulder pads. Kind of greaves, like some like boots too. You kind of like this. It's mostly decorative, like a circlet around the forehead as well. That is all just wire frame, almost, and just not quite spiky, but it is very elegantly flowing. But end in little barbs at the, when the wires do end.
So, how's it feel?
Feels light enough for me to move in. That's the important part.
I'd say so.
Supposed to resist magic as well.
Ooh, that's an amazing boon. No wonder it costed so much.
Well, that's what the Arcanite is for. It's magically intuned, so it does that kind of naturally. I don't have to do much to it, honestly. But the fact I can do it, that's you can credit that to my mentor.
Well, that makes sense. Did we tell you we met him?
You have.
Yeah.
He's still
He's still out there.
Still out there, and just
Yep.
still as sticky and stoic and crackly as he normally is.
Well, I feel there might be something making him a little bit lighter recently.
That's our man.
Yeah, turns out there is something that can warm his heart. Pure fire, you could say.
That doesn't sound right. I mean, I watched the man swallow fire.
Wow, he was really desperate, huh?
Desperate for what?
Nothing. Maybe we should go visit him again.
God.
Catch up.
Yeah, well, you can go. Honestly, after the, I have no doubt that he has many secrets still in this little stony edifice. I don't think I have enough energy in me lifetime to survive another lesson.
Well, it's your prerogative at the end of the day.
Honestly, his
Besides-
talents are wasted on someone like me.
No, doubt. You can weave this Arcanite thing into armor that can resist magic. That's incredibly useful. Do not put yourself down.
I'm one of few smiths that can do it. It's not an unknown art, just a rare one. I just learned it from, I don't know, the source, but a source.
Well, it doesn't really matter how many there are. It's a useful skill to have. Whether you're 1 or 100, it's still just as useful.
I see the butter has been brandished. You are buttering me up.
I've already paid you. There's no point. I'm merely speaking fact.
I've already paid you.
Already paid you. Oh, that's true enough. Well, thank you for the kind words. You.
He'll put a hand out. Riley!
Riley. Harriman. I'm sure we've introduced each other, but I just generally don't remember your name.
Few days, weeks, perhaps it's been a month by now.
I'm just shit with names.
And I have been doing so many things the past month I forget as well.
I don't know. Well, you're welcome here. Even outside of work hours, honestly. We need a place to stay. I have one couch to crash on.
Should I ever need to, I'll take you up on that offer.
Don't be a stranger. And I'll let your friends know if they need anything else too. Be happy to forge something up. And modify it if need be.
We'll do.
Yeah, and he begins to go back to the forging. He lifts the hammer up and goes, "Fuck, it's cold already," and just begins to shove it back into the furnace. Yeah. Are you guys going to wait here for your compatriots to come back? Or are you going to head off?
I don't know where they went, so yeah, I'll wait.
Okay.
I told you where we were going.
You said what you were going to do, not where it was.
You've been there before.
Where is it?
At the Simon, what's it called?
The Pale Watch. It's...
Was that an inn?
No.
That's not it.
Palace.
We've been here before,
Oh, it's
Riley.
the palace? Oh, okay.
Imagine looking at the
Can't
fucking...
stand you.
being outside the Washington Monument, looking at the White House and be like, man, this is a weird looking hotel. The Pale Watch is a... I will describe it. A spire of alabaster white, thick at the base but gradually thins as it rises up to 300 feet into the air, being capped by a triple-headed visage of the Cerberus.
I would never be able to forget that. Okay.
It's literally the tallest building in the entire city.
Yeah, alright. I'll lead everybody there then, unless they want to stay.
You could not have more of a landmark, because it is the entire city shaped like a bullseye, and it's right in the center of it.
Yeah, okay. Off we go. Haha. I don't even need to lead them. I just need to point in that direction and say that's where we're going.
Yeah. That being said, it is actually harder to get there than you think.
Crowds?
No. The entire city is built like a maze.
Oh, right. That's on purpose.
On purpose, as a defensive measure. So you're going straight to the tower, and you are getting closer, but every time you turn left, or like every time you get to like, closer, there's no straight road directly to the tower. It'll just end into like a T section, and you have to go either left or right. And then some turns are just straight up dead ends. They don't go closer to the center of the city. There's not even really like that many alleyways either. There's a couple just out of necessity, but it's very confusing to navigate the city when you don't have a guide. Ezra acted as your guide last time, but it is much slower. It's much slower going this time. Same goes for the other group that is going, of Claudine, Zero, and Chris. Both of you make investigation or perception checks, or persuasion if you want to ask people around.
That's all of us?
Just the other group.
Okay.
You'll find your way there eventually.
What am I doing?
Investigation, perception, or persuasion. Your choice. For navigation. Okay. Chris, you start trying to ask people for directions, and most of them fully ignore you. Some of them yell slurs because you're an elf.
You're mean.
You're mean, said the demigod to peasant Tommy. And the Lord saith, you're mean. Okay, but Zero, you don't remember necessarily the route, but you managed to just kind of find like signs of travel, very minute. The entire town's kept very much clean. Like all the buildings are clean. There's like this sense of duty, this diligence that is just kind of like hangs in the air. Everyone, there's no idle chatter or really like, there's no joy, if that makes sense.
None joy.
None joy. Everyone on the street that you can see, which isn't that many people, honestly, like a few stragglers here and there, they're all moving or doing something with purpose. They're either training, they're either like hauling something from one point to another, they're either going to some place with tools on hand, they're either working on the tools. Someone's always doing something, and there's no chatter at all. There's moments in the city that are so eerily silent that it is fully daytime. There are buildings around you, and there is no one on the streets for blocks at a time. And the only thing you can hear are your own footsteps on the cobblestones echoing off hollow buildings. yeah, eventually that silence is broken by just, kids not playing, training, or people, carrying things to and fro. There are some liveliness. If you see some food vendors, I think you got one, like a lizard on a skewer or something. But like, for the most part, it is a city of duty, a workhorse of its capital, if anything. And over the course of like hour and a half, you get closer and closer to the concentric rings, like the ringed walls of the city. Let's see here. Eventually you get, I believe, I don't remember the exact layout of the town. There's like 3 concentric ringed walls. Eventually you do get to the central ring, though, the one that is separated from the actual tower and its surrounding courtyard and plaza from the rest of the city. And it is a wide gate and extremely, extremely heavily guarded. The gate itself is probably about 30 or 40 feet long. Same with the road, actually. You see there's ballista mounted on top of the walls itself. There are not quite trained at you, but they are in your direction, just in case something happens. You see archers and crossbowmen up on the walls as well, and you see probably a good of like 30 or so, like fully clad armored soldiers, or just really well-armed guards, one of the two, armed in almost ceremonial-looking bronze armor. Has this, like dull ruddy brown, almost like green patina to it as well. Despite it looking rusty, it looks robust, heavy. And they make this man wall almost in front of the gate as you approach. But they are currently blocking your path.
I will approach them respectfully with my hands where they can see them and keep a reasonable distance between us, like, I don't know, 6, 7 feet. How close do they let me approach until they start posting up like weird?
You approach to about 30 feet or so before they all almost simultaneously take 1 foot step back, plant a large tower shield to the ground, and point a bunch of pikes in your direction, like a full phalanx formation.
I'm going. Then at that point I will stop. I will stop and I will put my hands up and I will just be like, "Hello, sorry to arrive unannounced. We are friends of Merrick, and we have spoken to Simon. What's his official name again?
The Imperator?
Yeah, I'll just say his title then. We've spoken to the Imperator relatively recently. We just need an audience with him, if possible."
Make a persuasion check. There is just fully no response at all. There's no get out. There's no, like take like proof or anything. They just stand there silently in battle formation, more or less.
I will just look to them and then just say, "Is there somebody I can speak to? A manager, perhaps?" No, I'm kidding.
Can I speak to your manager? Said the demon person to the fucking Marine Corps. Again, there's just fully no response. No one speaks. No one even coughs or sneezes.
Huh. I will turn back to the rest of the group and I will just wait for a moment. I'll pause and I'll give it a couple minutes to see if anybody comes out to speak to us.
You kind of, just sit there and wait, see what happens.
I mean, yeah, I can't, I came here to talk to the guy and I can't go any forward.
Yeah, and you wait. Claudine at like 15-minute mark goes, do you want me to sneak in there and just kind of...
No. Hard no.
I mean, this is really gonna... Okay. I mean, if you think this is going to be the right... Honestly, I'm just getting bored.
I got it, okay? I got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Sending to Gamut, and I'm going to say to him, hello? Sorry to arrive unexpectedly, but we need to speak to you. We're outside your palace.
Okay. You cast Sending to Imperator Gamut Courtry. There is someone of that name, but it is not allowed in.
What? Do I lose that spell slot?
You do.
Damn it.
You feel the spell go, and it does connect with somebody, and it's just blocked. It is you do not have admin permissions to send sending missions to this man.
I'm going to take out. Well, I say take out. I'm going to walk back towards Chris because I don't want to look like threatening. But I'm going to summon Azik and see if that changes anything.
You summon Azik, and the entire row of guards takes 2 steps towards you, ready to stab you. They're not even close within range, but it is a intimidation response, seemingly.
Mm-hmm.
There are also guard towers across this entire road as well, like one every 50 feet or so. You do see a couple dudes just up in the towers, crossbows ready, not aimed. Well, they were. Now they are, actually, after summoning Azik. But, yeah. They haven't shot you yet.
I'm going to scowl at them and then just bend down on a knee and just pet Azik for a minute just to show that he's... I mean, I know this isn't going to convince them, but I'm just going to pet him and be like, we're chilling.
Yeah, you pet Azik, and their disposition does not change. You continue to wait.
I'm going to speak up to them again, and I'm going to say, we are the Xodiacs. We've been here before. We've spoken to Gamut before, and we had an understanding of some level of allyship with him. We have news of the incoming battle, as well as potential things to offer right now to help. I'd like to speak to literally anybody, ideally Gamut, if possible. Can you tell him that we're here?
Make another persuasion check. You hear from the towers, one of the crossbowmen just goes, "That's the Imperator to you."
Was it Ezra that helped us get in last time?
Ezra was with you. I don't think she helped you get in. It was a like a guy that Merrick knew named Vivuvius.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that name.
Yeah, because we arrived from like the normal way where we were supposed to enter, and he like intercepted us, right? And saw Merrick, and that was our way we got audience with Gambit because Gambit wanted to see Merrick.
Yeah. And he flayed Merrick after that. But yeah.
What is what was his name? Vivuvius?
Captain Vivuvius, yeah.
Captain Vivuvius. I will remain where I am, kneeling with Azek, and I will just say, can someone please tell Captain Vivuvius that we're here?
Yeah. You don't see or hear a response.
Can you send to Vivuvius?
Yeah, I can. That'll be the last of my sending. Well, no, I guess I have one more spell slot after that. God. Oh, to be a caster. A true caster.
You can't roll lower than a 10. Shut up.
Didn't they just rolled a 5?
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Simon.
On stuff that you're good at.
Still, shut the fuck up. Sorry, I'm kidding. Fine. I'm gonna cast Sending to Vivuvius and just be like, hello, this is the Zodiacs. We're outside of the palace. We're seeking an audience with the Imperator, please. They're pointing weapons at us.
Yeah, and you get a pause before you get a response. Yes, it is good to hear from you again. I just got word of such things. I will be there. I wish I could say shortly. It will be a while.
I will turn back to the group and just relay to them what I was told. And I will say, I would get comfortable and keep your hands where they can see them. I'm going to point to Chris and I'm going to say, don't do anything stupid right now, Chris. Now is the wrong time to do that. I'm so serious.
Can I put on the performance?
I don't think anyone wants you to do that, Chris.
Not some light magic tricks.
I don't think that would be ideal. I don't think that would be a good idea. If you'd like to make it back alive to your girl to get her what you got her, I would refrain.
I guess I could just sit here.
Chris said dejectedly.
This is the first time he's ever said that in the entire campaign. Or had that thought, even.
Okay.
Then I will sit down on the ground next to Azek, and I will pat the ground next to me for Claudine. It's just me, Claudine, and Chris right now, right?
Yes, currently.
Yes, and I will pat one space next to me on the ground for Claudine and wait for her to sit.
And she sits.
Then I will turn to Chris and I will pat the other spot on the ground next to me for Chris.
I will sit.
Chris said dejectedly. See, if you had the old Chaos God still alive in you, you'd be like, yo, set a building on fire right now. But now you are the Chaos God.
And I conjure up a camping chair.
Like to.
Oh, I can't stand
Sponsored by
you.
Coleman.
Oh, I can't. I hate it here.
You invent the first synthetic fabric for specifically a camping chair.
I'll conjure up a 3-foot camping chair.
A 3-foot camping chair. It's a big camping
Yep.
chair. Actually, that's a standard camping chair. I'm thinking of a camping stool. Yeah. You conjure up a 3-foot camping chair. Just make a performance check for me. Okay. You make a big enough show of summoning the camping chair, like you do big, wide Harry Potter style like sigils in the the air for a brief moment before a small green synthetic camping chair appears, and you don't get immediately skewered by like 2 crossbowmen. Not that would have done much to you anyway, but yeah, it was enough of a not quite a taunting gesture, but like a obvious enough non-threatening gesture to not immediately elicit a threat response. And you're, as a result of the risk, you're now probably the most comfortable of the 3. You get to sit normally.
Isn't this nice?
Chris said tauntingly. Yeah, Claudine's sort of next to you, Zero. So, can you come here often?
Only to use the bathhouse.
The bathhouse?
We've been to the bathhouse.
I don't remember. I remember
You
the
don't
fried
remember
lizard.
when I stopped you from doing the arbiter job on your own? You don't remember that?
No. I seem to
Oh,
recall
I
you
do.
just, sneaking in, stabbing him, and then leaving.
We
See,
came
that's how
here
I
before.
remember it too.
Yeah, Riley and the rest of the gang eventually meet up with you.
Sorry, did I interrupt something? You seem to be relaxing. Don't you have something to be doing?
No, we're just hanging out.
Alright, Riley, we'll cop a seat. Guess we're hanging out then.
Can my camping chair spin?
Yeah, it's one of those ones with a swiveling base. You have enough intelligence to understand how, like, the fucking lubrication and, like, the little, like bearings and stuff work. Yeah, that shit spins for days.
Although, like, I'm not spinning it myself. Like, it just spins.
Like a
I'm,
robot.
like
Like
I'm
a-
sitting straight.
Like a little rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, Chris is slowly rotating like a little, like, display stand at a convenience store. Yeah, and you get a 360 periscope view of the entire surroundings and the tense atmosphere around you. It's not that tense. Well, it's kind of tense, but, it's not like knife to your throat. They're not merely stabbing you, which is a good sign.
Why strange spinning bar stool fabric chair? Couldn't decide on an aesthetic, huh? Had to go for all of them at the same time?
Well, it helps. It helps so that I can see and talk, while also being comfortable.
For
I
half
don't
that,
understand how this improves your vision.
for half that conversation, his back was turned towards you while he was slowly spinning.
I've been expecting you.
A white cat appeared at his lap mysteriously.
Mr. Kingfisher, is it?
The muskrat.
Yeah, but as you're just sitting there conversing, the demeanor of the guards do not relent. Well, the ones in the towers do. Eventually, they ease up. The like elite guard of the guys like body blocking the gateway have been in that position for a full 45 minutes before someone becomes trudging up along the road. During that process, actually, it begins to snow slightly in the city, and like while the conversation, you see like while the conversation was happening, just chilling out, even if silence ensues, a bunch of people begin to like sweep the snow around you, and they make like this full circle, like cleaning the streets of snow while it's snowing, and that's going to be a fool's errand, but they do it anyway, and they just fully ignore your position.
Riley is going to assist with the snow clearing with his sword.
Yeah, as you pull a sword in front of the tense guards.
Riley will hold his hand out and be like, "Watch, check this out," and he'll just wind blast.
Okay, make a performance check.
Yeah, I think that's sufficient.
Yeah, as you begin wind blasting, just blasting all the snow around you, at least in the immediate vicinity. It kind of kicks up a small, not a snowstorm, but like a flurry in the air for a little bit that settles elsewhere, and keep your area relatively clear of just powder snow. And you don't get immediately pincushioned. That's the important part. The sun begins to set, as you can see the final dips of light. Even though the sky is overcast and it's snowing, you can still see the dull purple and orange of the horizon sun. Zero, you spot just Nyx still just staring at the horizon as the sun eventually dips down below the wall. Eventually the orange and purples of the sky begin to just turn dark blue, at which point Nyx just turns back towards the group. But 45 minutes pass. Unless anyone would like to discuss anything while you're here.
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
Can I play that game with Claudine where like I put my hands out, like palm up, like I'll turn so I'm facing her and we're like facing each other, and where you like put your hands out palm up and the other person puts their hands on top of yours palm down, and you have to like quickly see who can like, if like you can slap the top of their hand before they can pull it away. Can I just do that with Claudine?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll need competing dexterity checks from both of you.
Yeah.
I'll make this one public.
Oh.
Can I play the winner?
Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
It's
He said, "Can I play the winner?"
It's this. Okay. I'll need both you and Claudia make performance checks actually, just for this, because it's funny.
Oh.
Okay. It's all fine though. You started this as a kind of like a joke, in a way. Like the palm down slapping things, just who could slap the other first. 15 minutes pass with no winner. And it stops being like a haha joke fun activity to a full-on competition, and all of you watch never before seen speed of hands like slowly slapping, deflecting each other, like perfectly evenly matched. Two anime characters punching each other without nary an injury. And it's so engrossing that some of the crosswomen start taking bets. But the elite guard do not flinch. One final dexterity check.
Chris and I are sharing the same brain cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly it. Oh shit.
No, I feel bad now. I don't want to win.
"15 minutes pass at the initial contest, and in 5 more minutes for a full 20. You hear minor cheering from the crossbow towers for about 30 seconds before the elite guards glare at them, and then they just silence for the rest of the competition. But eventually, one mistake, one caught thumb, Claudine, a little bit too slow, you slap her hand and catch it perfectly. And you almost feel this, like, airwave of victory around you. It blasts away some of the powder snow in a shockwave as everything settles and you see your hand on top of Claudine's. A single tear goes down her face. Defeat. You hear very quiet cheering and some disgruntled moaning from certain towers. Bets have been won and bets have been lost.
I'll give her a little kiss on the cheek to make up for it.
Tastes a little salty from the tear stand. She laughs. She looks at you dead in the eyes and goes, "I will never forgive you for this."
That was for making our son fat.
I demand satisfaction at a future date.
I'm just gonna say that can be arranged, and I'll give her a little wink.
No, I demand satisfaction.
No.
No. A duel.
Well, Chris, you have your winner.
Sure, I'll
Can I
I'll turn to face Chris.
Okay. If you would like to play both, you make dexterity checks. Yeah, less of a competition this time, but surprisingly, Chris holds his own for a little bit. Like, it's about a minute of just, like, you know, mind games specifically. Chris seems to have a very cerebral way of playing this game, whereas you and Claudine it was pure acrobatics, alacrity, just mental acuity of just, like, reflexes, just go nonstop. Chris is not toying with you, but he is trying to bait you. But even when you fall for his bait, and you do, you're way too fast for him. And eventually only but a minute or two passes as you catch his hand.
I'll turn to Riley next.
Oh,
The tourney.
well, if you insist. It's what, pure dexterity check?
Pure dexterity.
I'm okay at that.
Riley might get me, yeah.
Oh,
well,
shit.
maybe.
Oh,
Ooh,
barely,
almost.
barely.
Is what you think. I'm going to Destiny bend this.
Oh my god!
Destiny Bended, make another roll.
Yeah.
No!
What a way to use Destiny Bender. You won from a game show that could bend reality to its will. It's like, I'm a win at hand slap. You... Zero. Riley's a competent opponent. You actually have to push yourself a little bit. And, like, he has a mix of both Claudine's pure reflexes and Chris's, like, pure mind games. He's somewhere in between. He's the everyman. He's the bard. He's good at everything. And, like, you find yourself having to push yourself, and, like, even your reflexes aren't... Like, his reflexes aren't as good as yours. But, like, it's hard to also combine it with the mind games, which he's doing both. So even your reflexes are sometimes failing you. But you eventually go to get him. You see the opening. You see the little thin silver thread to his hand. And as you're about to hit it, Riley, you see a fate before you. You see a future of loss. One of abject defeat. One where you have lost everything in your life because your hand got caught in the snare of this thieving rogue. And you look back at the silver dodecahedron before you, and you know what you must do. You call upon a altered future, one whose path has never been trodden, but a potential is there, and you take that path instead. Reality gets ripped asunder for only a split fraction of a second, as instead, Zero, you fell for yet another bait. He very quickly zips his hand out and slaps yours. You have been ensnared in his. And another anime shockwave of victory amidst. Destiny Bender goes cold as this new terrible reality befalls all of you. I should write
Anybody
books.
else up for a challenge then?
I'll kill you.
I'd like to break
I'd
you.
like to see you try.
Claudine looks at you with still this dry tear in her eyes. Now you know the sting of defeat.
Zero sits there bitterly with their arms crossed. I'm done playing. Can I BRB real quick?
Sure. So the title of this episode should be like, the gang just hand slaps for 3 hours. What is this game called, actually?
The gang experiences bureaucracy. Again.
It's hilarious because this is probably one of the least bureaucratic governments there are. It's just they don't trust you. That's it.
Why don't they trust us?
Well, they
We
don't know
fixed
you.
all their problems that one time.
They don't know that.
Yes, they do.
These guys don't. They're here to guard, and guard they will, goddammit.
Yeah, but what's happening inside that's taking 3 hours?
45 minutes, have you know.
Wait, I thought it was 3 hours.
45 minutes.
Oh.
20 of which was hand slap.
No takers then.
I'll go.
I can't wait to lose to Chris after that flashy show. Yep.
Oh.
Oh!
Riley, weakened after bending fate to your whim. Chris's mind games are... You can deal with Zero's reflexes. Chris's mind games are something weird. They are, like... They're wacky. Like, he's looking at you in a way that you're not sure whether he's going to go or not. And it's hard to get a read on him. And for minutes at a time, you don't do anything because you're afraid that doing so will ensnare you in defeat. Perfectly matched.
How did Zero overcome this?
Another dexterity check.
That's a
Ooh.
little better. No shot!
Yes.
Holy shit. And with that, Riley, after another 2 minutes of brutal battle, you almost got him. Your reflexes, your bind games, they're on another level. But Chris thinks, while you're thinking 3 a minute, Chris thinks in 9. As he has predicted your prediction, and you predicted his prediction, but he's predicted your prediction again. So you predicted his prediction. And without even really realizing it, you go, and before you even know, his hand on top of yours. Defeat has ensnared you in its cruel, agonizing jaws.
I don't get it. I just can't understand. How did he do that?
Zia sort of looks, well, not Zia, Nick sort of looks at you. And the triangle is complete. All
What are we, a
three
Game of rock, paper, scissors.
And which one's rocks, paper, and scissors?
I like scissors.
Yeah, you look like the type that would run with them.
I guess I'll be paper, flowy like water.
Usually use Zero to be a rock. Dense as ever.
You gonna take that, Zero?
Zero in another dimension right now. Just soul left and is currently wallowing in agonizing defeat.
Yeah, I understand that.
This, I do not think hand slap would be this epic, but here we are.
Make anything epic with enough effort.
That's
What
true.
does Zia think about it?
Zia's never played this game before. Zia doesn't know what's going on. Zia, she's like trying to parse the rules, seemingly. She gets your supposed to like.
Is tongue still up?
At this point, barely. Probably only another 5 minutes or so.
All right, I'll just quickly say. All right, so the goal is that you have to catch somebody's hands, right? It's pretty simple. You've seen it in action.
Okay, I can try. She kind of puts her hands out.
Well, I suppose I'll be your opponent. And that's a save.
That's a save.
Should I? Yeah, I'll reroll. Well, okay.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
18 plus 3. You got to make one move. So here's how you play, and immediately, with a thunderous clap, we do it in a blur, her hands on top of yours.
Wow, you learn fast!
Lightning shoots from her eyes. I would have never lose in this game.
Alright, go again. Oh my god, she really won't lose.
A little closer this time, but still too quick for you.
I concede, you're correct.
Her head slowly creaks towards you, Chris, to eye her next victim.
Let's do it. No.
You get in position, her hands are on top of yours.
Verse Nyx for Claudine.
Zia head slowly creaks towards you, Zero. I am the undefeated champion.
I like to imagine, yeah. I feel like Tongues is probably down by now, so she just fully just knew that English phrase enough to confidently say it to me. That's crazy.
It is on the tailpipe of Tongues.
She scares me.
Would you like to verse undefeated champion Zia?
Sure.
Make a dexterity check.
No.
Oh.
Roll a 20! No!
Oh. It's a close battle, but eventually you are fueled by your defeat, and you will never lose again. As after a brief scuffle, minute or two, of trying to mind game each other, being too quick, eventually your hands does clasp hers. She sort of looks just glassed eyes and dead in the soul. My life has no meaning.
It's nothing personal. Blame Riley.
Wait, why are we blaming me? What did I do?
This is payback.
For defeating you once?
In front of my girl, yeah.
I don't really have a comeback for that one. You know what? You could run it back. Maybe it was a fluke.
Oh, and have you embarrassed me twice? No.
Well, if it's any consolation, you beat Zia, who beat me twice.
Everybody, he said it here first. It was a fluke, okay? It was a fluke.
Alright, so let's prove it then.
God damn it. Come on, man. God damn it!
You get into position, and your emotions are a little astir. You're not sure whether your skills in hand slap are actually up to snuff. The seed of doubt gets into your brain, and it is lingering, an ever-present venom in your own mind. And in that distraction, Riley, unfortunately to you, Zero, manages to clasp your hands in the coldest yet warm humiliation of loss once again.
I bite him.
All right, let's start throwing hands.
Just straight up a fist fight outside the
not?
lighthouse.
Just heal us off anyway.
You just like Riley, you get him to square up.
Riley
You-
will only square up if Zero squares up.
I won't square up, but I will stare at him angrily.
you
I'll turn to Thea. Avenged.
Yeah, at this point the tongue has just barely worn off, but she kind of nods and with a very sly corner smile, mouth corner smile. Eventually, you do all see a older human man, all shaved head, bald, with a scar from the left nostril down through the lips, down to the chin, revealing like a small nose, or a hole in the nose. Wears a very ceremonial garb emblazoned with various dogs and wolves and such. It's kind of emblazoned all over it. One just blue cloak hanging off one shoulder with a great sword strap along the back. He sort of walks up, just trudging up the very small hill in view. I've not seen a fist fight break out over a children's game before.
That was not a children's game. That was very intense and high stakes. Okay.
I suppose I cannot argue with that. The value of a fight is only... I suppose it is up to the combatants. So if you say it's high stakes, I am not here to disprove you.
Is this Vivuvius or is this
Yeah, this is Vivuvius.
okay.
Captain Vivuvius, the war dog.
Ah, Captain. How wonderful it is to see you again.
Yes, sorry for the delay. I was at the outer walls.
Something going on over there or just regular?
Just regular. Just awaiting reports. The area that you have cleared out has begun to decay. It is as if someone has cut open the innards of a great titan and let its guts fester and rot all over part of the forest. It's quite a stench. You can smell it some miles off if it's downwind.
I'll be right back.
All right. Did we notice a stench from Dead Titan in Thane?
No, it was very much, yeah, you barely get to see the Titan, honestly, but on Thane, no. It was frozen, but it wasn't rotting either.
Right, frozen. That might. But then again, we also had a Dead Titan in the forest, and that didn't have a stench either, right?
Yeah, but that was also long decayed too.
Okay. Well, it's probably not a real Titan.
No, I do not think so. But it's the thing, that flesh forest that you found.
Oh, no. Okay, never mind. The stench makes total sense then.
Yes, I was using an analogy, sort of metaphor.
My bad. Took it literally.
No, that is a very carbon thing for you to do. You had the business here, yes.
Zero, you had business here, yes?
Yes.
If I may inquire, what is it regarding?
it is potential options for Cowbay in terms of weaponry for the incoming flight that I'd like to offer to the Imperator and get his thoughts on it.
What is the nature of this weaponry that you speak of?
It is... I'm gonna cast message when I say it, because I don't want to say it out loud in front of it, all the other dudes posted up, but I'll say in message, I'll say guns.
Yeah, and Vuvius gets the message, and his eyes sort of widen. He kind of breathes out his nostrils for a little bit, like loudly. It kind of whistles out the hole in his nostril, like this scar. A small pause, a beat in the conversation ensues, and he says out loud, "You have stolen guns from Sonia."
We have acquired guns from Sylnia, yes.
And you intend to gift it to the Legion.
Not because we feel you need it necessarily, but in the same regards that we've spoken to Narset about the impending battle that's coming. It is going to be a massacre, and I fear that one of the only nations truly prepared for it in terms of technology may very well be only Sylnia. And that is a troublesome thought. And now that we have extended our reach somewhat to Calbe as well as Narset and spoken to its leaders, we would like to help even the playing field, if nothing else, to allow everyone to make it out of that battle with as minimal casualties as possible. Because the enemy that we are all going to be facing, their technology surpasses what even Sylnia right now has managed to get their hands on, which is not anything to turn your nose up at.
I'm somewhat aware of the capabilities of the enemy. Yes. I've been to this the patch forest that you've hunted, the scab, and it is any power that can turn the forest to flesh is not to be taken lightly. What I also urge not to take lightly is the spread of uncontrolled technology. It was mostly directed to Sylnia, but I believe that any culture, any nation, any one group of people cannot be trusted with means beyond their own self. You've seen what Sylnia has become. What I fear that you delivering these guns to the city is we will be losing sight of what we are. I cannot endorse you delivering these guns and potentially introducing this a slow poison to the culture of the Legion, but ultimately it is not my decision to do so. I'll grant you audience, but Just urge you to think of the consequences of this. Because they are not light.
I understand.
He said just nods and you can just walk straight down the road, just parting the group of you, just with sheer military presence even. And he just walks to the guards, and as he does the elite guard, the hoplites, they lax in their stance. They've been in that phalanx for like an hour almost, not even moving. But once he approaches, they just begin to part, and then just he says something very brief, just walks back towards you. You are clear to enter. I'm sure the Imperator has already been notified.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can do while I'm here? Otherwise I will return back to my post.
I don't believe so.
Well then, I would wish you good luck, but in my heart, I hope you fail. But, be well, either way.
I will give him a respectful nod.
And he gives one back towards you. It was nice seeing all of you alive. And he just turns, begins to walk back to the wall. But there's now a part in the sea of man.
Let's go swimming.
And swim you shall, you fish boy. Walking past the 30-odd guardsmen, they still eye you, but the moment you cross by, they sort of turn 90 degrees towards you, in case you try to start some shit. And they're still just watching you immediately, still keeping formation. But you walk towards the Pale Watch Tower. And the moment you cross the threshold, there's this just huge plaza. No cover, no anything. If someone had to break in here, it would be just an absolute barrel of fish for anyone shooting at them. But nothing interrupts your forward progress. And you can make it to the base of the Pale Watch Tower, which inside is more guards, but also the long spiral staircase with no guard railings the entire way up. Climbing the staircase, couple minutes. It's all of you are fairly physically fit, even you, Chris. Not ripped, but not enough to get gassed after, albeit a long flights of stairs. 300 feet of stairs is not great. As you get to the top, just a very simple door. Your calves are mildly yelling at you, but no worries. You open the door and see a human man. Like old, 90s at least. Dark tan, weathered skin, light gray, short hair, all, coming to a widow's peak. Same with the beard. Very functionally looking, but ceremonial almost, splint male. With the image of a roaring dog on the chest. You see a helmet in the shape of a dog's head just kind of rested to the side on a desk. A blue feathered plume coming off the back. And he's just kind of resting on a bronze cane. With various, almost like a Cerberus at the handle of it as well, but there's different animals instead of just a dog. See one bird, I think. I forgot the other one. But a cane. And he's just staring at you.
We recognize this guy as the Imperator.
Yep.
Imperator. The important guy.
Imperator.
Alright, Zero, floor's yours.
how close is a respectful amount to approach here?
The room is honestly kind of small here. The whole room is probably no bigger than like a standard office. So it's probably like 20 feet at its longest. Like you could get in one combat round, you could get there with movement to spare. So any amount possibly. You're not sure. You're not usually this close to fucking world leaders. Actually, you are, but doesn't matter.
Okay, then I will approach a few steps and probably leave a good like 30 or how
It's like a
much
20
space
foot
right now
long
is-
room. The moment you enter, it's like
Okay.
20 feet.
Okay, I'll approach like 10 feet and still leave, or maybe like 8 feet, leave like 12 feet between us.
Yeah, and he doesn't move if you do.
Hello, Imperator. It's good to see you. Hope you've been doing well.
What's the reason for your visit?
The reason we're here is because with dealings between us and Narset, I'm sure you are aware they are very secretive and quiet, as well as just reserved place that values their knowledge, but also understands that the world around them is moving at a pace that, without much access to the outer world, they may be at a disadvantage with the advancement of technology and things such as that. We came here simply to try and make an offering. I understand Vivuvius was not a fan of it when I communicated to him what it was, and I understand his reservations regarding it. The only reason we're bringing this at all is because of the impending fight. Sylnia has technology that far surpasses that of any major other nation that is of any power here. And that does not make for a level playing field. I'm of the opinion that Sylnia is well prepared, that following the aftermath of that large battle, they potentially, due to their advancements and their advantage in their technology, might be the only ones on both feet following that fight. The enemy, as you've seen, I'm sure, has absurd levels of the technology that most common people would not even begin to be able to comprehend. And that puts a lot of other people at a large disadvantage. And while what I'm offering is not a surefire way of winning, nor is it necessarily a beacon of hope, even, because I understand that it comes with other implications and potentially consequences of its introduction to your country and your culture. But we did acquire technology from Sylnia that is technology that has not, to our knowledge, been utilized in Calbe before. It is some of the better models of firearms that they manufacture there. We have about 500, including the materials needed to actually make them work. And we came here to offer aid in the form of giving them to you to use how you see fit. Preferably just in this upcoming battle, if they might be of use to you. If you don't use them at all, I don't blame you. But we thought we would make the offer. We took them from Sylnia regardless because Sylnia produces these in mass, and we were under the impression when we took them that they were going to a place that wouldn't really be ideal for our agenda in trying to lessen their hold on the reins of progress, if you will. Disarming anyone in Sylnia feels like a good choice. So, while I don't doubt they were able to produce more of these within, a relative amount of time, and this loss to them probably wasn't that great in terms of the materials that we stole. We thought maybe just due to the circumstances of which we've created any kind of communication with you and the battle that's coming, that you may find them useful to your nation as well.
So you come to bring guns.
Yes.
I accept.
I think there's also something you should know is that while retrieving these guns is that we found out that leadership in Rias became kind of like the sponsors, or kind of playing under the books in Altus and Sylnia.
Well, that would be like Rias.
Any particular reason you were immediately hopping on this train when Vivius was so hesitant?
I do not share the same baggage as Vivius. He has seen firsthand what that technology can do, as have I. What he doesn't see is he only knows the loss of technology.
And not what can be gained from it.
Precisely.
I see.
We have all lost something in the Crucible. Vivius and Captain Leviticus both, perhaps more so than others. But I think on larger scales. Any way I see it, this gift of gun will only benefit us in the long run.
I'm inclined to agree. Putting you on closer to a level playing field with the rest of the world is paramount.
I also want you to know that potentially, if you ever considered something like that, as well as them, I've not ran this by them either. As I said previously, Narset is very secretive and reserved in how they handle their dealings, and it's understandable why. But if ever they decide to reach out, I'm of the understanding that they have a similar position on Sylnia's rise to power and their distaste and distrust for Jarnhat. I am of the opinion that if the opportunity ever comes to you, that they may be theoretically a ally.
Make a persuasion check. He sort of looks at you. Not with a... It's not hate, it's not annoyance, it's not even like disdain, it's just... It's just. He just looks at you with these eyes that hold no real emotion or sway one way or another. Just goes, I have no interest in the dealings of mages a half-world away.
Understandable. All I'm suggesting is that one day the enemy may not be so foreign. And it may be someone that is much closer than we would like to think about.
Zero.
Sonya's already successfully.
They
What?
just went through the Crucible or like 25 years ago. They know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel that in our travels as well, we've learned that having friends in strange places helps.
Yeah, that's
Never
the real
really
point
hurts.
here. It's not that the enemy is closer than we might think, it's that friends are closer than we might think.
Like Sia here.
What?
Like Zia. Their
Sia was
friend.
not close. She's close now. She wasn't always. I don't... What are you on about? We found her in a dungeon.
Yeah, but like she was part of the faraway land of Narset.
But that's... Are you just saying we can make friends in Narset? Like, yeah, obviously. That was the point of the...
Riley, shut it. We'll jump you right now.
I was just suggesting that 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 it can be a benefit to have friends from other places, like Narset.
You have a very optimistic view of politics.
Simply lived experience.
You do not think I have lived experience?
Have you lived and been in Narset at the same time? Because we have.
Have you lived in Calbe?
No.
I had a brother once. Do you know how he died?
Crucible?
No.
One of the other two factions of Calbe.
No.
Okay, how did he die?
He was the older. I was the younger. He was 15 at the time. There's a raid by the Ironheart clans. Our food stores are gone. All the grain, what meager fields we could harvest, burned, salted. My brother went to get food. We had one small community, 50 people outside of Kasny. Our own neighbors beat him to death with rocks because he had a half-rotten apple. Those neighbors fed us in times of plenty, housed us, sheltered us from kids that would torment us for fun and because that was the Legion way. And they bludgeoned him to the grave for half an apple. And you speak of trust. Friends. These are neighbors that cared for us as children, and see how quick they turned in times of strife, uncertainty. I do preach of friendship from a culture who has no similarities, that have sheltered just as much as we have. That is that dangerous optimism. No. The only strength worth gaining is one you seize for yourself.
Oh, we've got plenty of that ourselves as well.
That I have no doubt. That is why your word is worth taking. But not on this. You'll be betrayed someday. And we will see if that optimism is not stained.
I'll turn to the group. Isn't it more likely that we're the ones that will do the betraying?
What do you say? What do you say?
He's just going to be tongue-in-cheek, like, don't we have more of a track record of being the ones doing the betraying?
I will choose not to acknowledge Riley's comment.
There are a few candidates for possibly betraying us.
Yeah, I guess the difference is, in this situation, we kind of know that they can betray us, whereas when you get betrayed by your neighbor like that, that's out of nowhere. So I guess, ultimately, merely, it's been working for us so far. And we're about to hand you 500 guns to up your defenses with no strings attached.
And I will accept this gift. With all the caution that is necessary.
Hey, Simon.
Yeah.
I have a dumb question.
Ask.
How is gunpowder made?
It is, I believe, saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal or something. If you have the right resources, it's very easy to make. Even if you don't, you still make it fairly simple. It just requires the right ratios of such.
Okay. I will. Does he have guards in this room with him to protect him?
Nope.
Oh, I guess he wouldn't need them. What's it? Okay, I will slowly reach into my bag and I will pull out the. I guess we have gunpowder and bullets and the guns. I will pull out the gunpowder and the bullets first, and I will ask him, do you understand how these work? Or would you like any of us to show your men or you?
I understand the result, but not the operation. I have familiarity with one end.
Do you have any alchemists or yes, perhaps a blacksmith of some sort that you refer to for perhaps if this is something you want to use, you're gonna want more bullets and more gunpowder.
I have individuals in mind.
You can get creative and customize these things too.
In time.
Okay. Is there any warriors or combatants you would trust for us to show how these work so that they can be the guides in teaching others how?
Yes.
Can we meet with them?
You are.
Okay. Simon, do I
I am he.
do?
Do you have anyone you trust?
mean-
Of course I do. It's me.
I've shot a gun before, I think.
I think so, at some point.
I guess Chris would be a better expert than I would at this point, but can me and Chris take some time to actually show him how the gun works? Because I'm pretty sure these are all identical models, right? The ones that we got from Solnia.
Yeah, more or less. Like, you have pistols and you have rifles, specifically, and they're all basically the same. The pistols are just shortened rifles. Like, they're almost exactly the same other than the length. But, yeah.
Okay. Then can me and Chris spend some time? What language do they write in here in Calbe?
Common.
Okay, then yeah, I will take out some parchment if I have any spare, and I will write down instructions. And if we could spend a little bit of time teaching him how they work, and do I? Okay, yeah, me Missy didn't even know how gunpowder was made. Would Zero have any idea of that? Would Chris have any idea of that?
Chris would probably at this point. I don't think Zero would. You know gunpowder is gunpowder, but you're not sure the chemical composition of it.
Can I use a charge from Truthseer
Sure.
to communicate to him in a palatable way how he could try to create more?
Sure. Between you and Chris, I'd say no role necessary. Like, with you, Truth searing it up, getting knowledge directly fed to your head by a higher power, and Chris just being straight knowledgeable about guns. Yeah, it doesn't take long. He seems to be very quick study. Like 15 minutes, and he has pretty much the entire shebang down. You show him how to, like, first how to load the thing, then shoot it, how to reload, like cleaning measures, and you're writing down instructions, and he just seems to get it very quickly. But you both write down like the like ingredients and like how to make it on like a list, and you compile everything to like a neat little like 3-page like spread of paper just to the basic understandings of it.
Could I tell him about how to make the teleport bullet?
That's up to you.
Sure.
Yeah, you spend an extra bit of time teaching him how to make the teleporter bullet. You begin like outlining the inherent sigils and everything.
Yeah, kind of like infusing the magic within the bullet and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Zero and Riley both make insight checks. Okay. Yeah, Zero, he's a quick study. You're just watching him like absorb all this information about even how to make the helper bullet, and you're kind of impressed. Riley, like, you see him pick up all the stuff about operation of the bullet, and then the moment Chris starts talking about magic, his eyes glaze over, and he's just staring at his face.
He's a world leader. His eyes glaze over.
Chris, he gets it.
Write it down.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't need me to go over it again?
I understand well enough. Though you can write down the ingredients and necessary preparations on a paper.
Okay.
Okay. But with the additional teleporter bullet recipe, he has the whole stack of instructions, basically, on how to operate clean and take care of these guns and fire them, basically. Anything anyone would need to shoot a gun long term. You see him read over the instructions. He puts away the teleporter bullet one on the desk, though. He goes over the operation manual, 3 pages, not very long at all. Just one for things like loading, shooting, cleaning. Reads them all, takes a minute, and just tosses them into a fire. He keeps the teleport bullet one, though. Very well.
Huh.
And where are these firearms now?
I can open up the demi-plane and...
I'm gonna put my hand up to stop Chris from speaking, and I'm going to cast message to Riley and look at Riley for a moment, and just in a message I'm gonna say, I'm scared he's gonna use these on the other legions here.
Is that not a risk that we were taking?
Yeah, but how do you think I should even try to attempt to make him agree not to? The only reason I'm giving him these is to help with the fight.
Perhaps we should wait for that after. Assuming we survive.
I'm gonna cast message again and just say to Riley, but at that point, trying to make him agree to anything is going to be impossible. He'll already have the leverage that we have over him now. He'll already have the guns.
Well, you can attempt.
I will step forward to him and look him in his eyes, and I will say to him, if we gift you with this new advantage, understand that our intention is for you to use these in the fight with the enemy from the sky. I need you to agree with me now, or make a promise or whatever, a respectable oath or whatever would be in your culture, that you're not going to utilize these against Lionheart or the Jade Dynasty. That's not why we brought these to you. That's not why we took them. I understand that you have other needs as a leader and other concerns. And again, I don't want to see Silnia be the only nation that survives this. That's why I'm doing this. I need you to promise me that you're not going to utilize these against those other people. And then I'm going to take another step closer to him. And I'm just going to say, if I find out that a promise like that is broken, I will return here and handle it myself. And I'm willing to roll intimidation. I don't think this man can be intimidated. I'm aware of that, but I want to communicate to this man that I'm deadly serious. That's like, this is why we gave him this. I'm not giving this to him to fucking win a centuries-long battle or whatever the fuck.
Okay. I'll say you can either roll intimidation or persuasion. The intimidation roll will be higher, DC.
I'm better at that.
Okay.
It's not that good.
He sort of looks at you with the same eyes. Just, I suppose the only apt way to describe these eyes is dead. Almost looking through you, not just through the body, but like through the soul, even. And he just stares for a bit. I am many things. I'm not a liar. In the same vein that you bring these weapons here to strengthen a defense against a common enemy, I will tell you here and now that if we have the weapons, I will do anything I can to defend my home.
That sounds reasonable to me. I guess making sure you not to use the weapons to invade another person's home.
I can agree to that.
He sort of
For
looks at
some
you,
reason.
Chris, and he goes, so long as they do not become a threat.
Do you know why we reached out to you first regarding these weapons and not Lionheart and not Jade Dynasty? It's because this, regardless of what his fate may be now, was once Merrick's home. And that is why I make this request of you, that you do not use them on Lionheart or Jade Dynasty. I understand that war is devastating, and it's not always about just being a sitting duck and waiting to be shot at before you begin attacking. But I can't, in good conscience, give you these and look Merrick in the eyes, knowing that decades down the line, this decision that we made here today led to the invasion of lands, although ruled by your enemies, still house innocent people. Merrick would be able to look at me after that. So again, my grounds, and I don't speak for the Xodiacs, they can disagree with me here, but my grounds as of right now are that you will not use these to invade. I'm not negotiating or wavering on that.
He looks at you again, eyes deadened. Just expressionless, emotionless, in this moment, almost not an ounce of humanity in him. He just says very dryly, "You've no idea how many people Merrick has killed." I reiterate, I will do anything I can to defend the Legion.
Well, think of it this way. If you have 500 guns for the upcoming fight, and the others don't, that's that much less you have to rebuild. They're not going to be able to invade for a long time after that. So, as long as you don't go getting any funny ideas, there can be equilibrium again.
Equilibrium is not at the top of all of our important lists. We made an alliance out of necessity, same as we are now. Politically, we're still in that alliance, as tenuous and frayed as it is. I can say this with certainty then. I will not be the one that strikes first.
Yeah, that's the meaning of defense, as you've said.
But if we are attacked, I will use the full breadth of everything we have.
Does that imply pushing in as a resistance? And perhaps capturing their territory?
if it comes to it.
Hmm.
You are under no
I will-
obligation to give me these weapons, and I will not force you. But in doing so, you also lessen our chances in thinking of the long term.
Zero. I don't think there's a scenario where we don't leave at least like 10.
Can you afford to be thinking of the long term right now?
Well, for the next 20 days, we don't have super a lot going on. Gotta fill that time somehow.
I can accept the terms if you do stand on the agreement that you will not strike first. But as a part of that, I ask if in the future, with again this great fight coming, if you find yourself with the ability to lend help to your neighbors, as tenuous as this alliance, I should say, should be, can I trust that you will aim these weapons with intention in that moment to protect humanity rather than just the Bronze Legion?
Make one more persuasion check.
Well, I mean, considering that modifier, that's just about as good as it gets.
True. We had a shared enemy once. And we have one again. There were some measure of cooperation during those operations. In the face of this threat, for the time being, it is us versus them. I cannot guarantee they will see it the same way.
As I said previous, if the if the scales were to shift here due to this addition to your armory, whether that's in your favor or out of your favor, while I don't assume or think you necessarily need my help, if I survive the fight and the consequences of my decision to bring these guns here begins to have an effect on innocent lives for the worse, I will be returning here. Or if I'm not able to, hopefully someone in my place can return here to fix it. I am entrusting you with these.
During this conflict, I will defend humanity, as you put it. If we all survive to see the morning, I will defend the Legion. But if pushed and prodded, I will defend the Legion with everything. You know my terms. I will not be the first one, the one to throw the first stone, at the very least.
Well, where do you want the guns?
Outside the tower.
Do I know what tower he's talking about? Is there just one tower?
You're in it.
Yeah.
Oh, this tower? Oh, sorry. I didn't know if you meant like a sniper tower or something.
They don't got snipers yet.
You know what I
Yeah.
meant?
Yet. They're gonna get one real soon once Chris finds Ezra.
Yeah.
Can I put my hand out for him to shake it?
Yeah, just put your hand out to shake it. Yeah, he shakes it back. You feel something, a heat, blue, fiery. It's not physical. None of you, the rest of you can see it. Zero, do you try to search this flame?
Search it?
Hmm?
Sure.
As you just explore this flame, it erupts into a inferno, only for a brief moment. You find yourself in a shadowed area. It's still a room, but like almost like this dome of darkness formed around you, just kind of illuminating only the surroundings around you. Only 5 feet or so. You can barely see the faces of your compatriots, and almost time is frozen in this moment. But the Imperator is still looking at you. From the flame, kind of erupted into the shape of a 3-headed Cerberus, and it kind of is overlooking for a bit before the flaming dribble and slaughter from the mouth of the Cerberus hit the floor, ignite up again, and begin to curl up into the form of a contract. You don't really get to read the contract, but you know its conditions. One signature is already on it. The man standing before you. The immediate meaning of the contract that you can get in your brain is that you'll deliver the guns. He will use them to defend everyone using them during the conflict. Afterwards, he will not use them to invade first. Only for defense, but after, if he gets attacked by anybody, he will use them. For whatever purpose that may be. Those are the terms of the contract that has been laid out.
I sign it.
Okay. You sign the Cerberus contract, a second one even, as the flames begin to form the actual lettering of the contract. This almost skin-like parchment begins to roll up and just smolder into ashes and just disappear. The handshake resumes. There's almost a glimmer of blue in the Imperator's eyes, but no change in his expression. The deal has been struck then.
Okay. Then I guess from there we will head out. He said outside the tower?
Yep.
Okay.
and as he let go of their hands, he just turns back to his desk, kind of runs his finger along the side of the dog-headed helmet, and just begins to pore over notes or maps or whatever he's doing on that desk. Nary a goodbye. None, even. As he just, business included, and just leaves you to leave.
Success!
Yeah.
For now.
Simon, shut up.
No.
Zodiacs can deal with the fallout from this off-screen.
Or just let the chaos happen.
Yeah, there we go. Let the second party handle it. It's fine.
No, because this flavor of chaos means probably some dead kids. That makes me sad.
There's dead kids everywhere.
Yeah, but some of these dead kids will be because of me.
You already murdered one directly, it's fine.
That's not what that means. That doesn't make it fine.
After the first one, you're immune to all guilt from the rest of them, it's fine.
You're dumb.
Not even once.
Not even, just once, even. Just once, and you're immune. Okay, but you descend the stairs of the tower, being careful to not fall the fuck off.
Riley's gonna fall the fuck off anyway, but in style.
Yeah. I'm assuming you cast Featherfall.
Nope, Fool's Tumble.
Oh, okay.
Goes out of his way to fall off.
Yeah. How does Food Stumbles work again?
It's something like climbing speed, something about immune to fall damage.
The same immune to fall damage.
I think it does have, obviously not if you like fucking. How does it? Tumbling Fool. You take half damage from falling.
Okay. So how, okay. Do you want to do it from the top of the stairs?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go all the way down.
Okay. I'll let you roll this. I want you to roll 30d6.
Sure.
And whatever that number is will be halved.
Roll 30
30d6.
d6. Roll half of 107. Hell yeah!
So that's
I would have
up.
survived that anyway.
So that's 54.
Hell yeah!
54 damage is a huge amount to take from moving in an hostile city.
Barely hurt.
How much HP do you still have left, even?
It's less than 100. I can't do math. What is this? It'd be 97.
So, as you all leave, Zero, you go first, Chris, you go second, and Riley, you just, instead of turning the stairs, you just go straight off, fall down the center of this thing, and you just, both of you just see Riley plummet 300 feet down, perfectly vertical, and at the end, like, he's skydiving for 300 feet, and then at the end, he does one roll. Exactly one roll. The rest of the force goes directly into his body. As you hear a meaty smack, and then there's a sudden gout of blood at the bottom of the of the tower. He ragdolls forward from the roll. The one roll he does, and now there's a suspiciously Riley-shaped, like, blood angel in the middle of this tower.
He's just gonna fucking wipe off his mouth and fucking cast a healing word on himself.
That'll do it. So,
didn't fucking hurt.
yeah, as you cast healing word, the first 3 vertebrae of your spine get rocketed back into your body. Yeah, like
we all see all of this, right?
Oh yeah, no, he's not making a fucking hit him.
Can I like nudge Zia with my elbow? And I know she can't understand me, but I'm just gonna point to Riley and look at her, and my face is just gonna say something like, "That's your man. That's your man."
She's gonna make an insight check to see what you're saying. It's a wisdom.
Do you not see when we
6.
were doing handstand coffee drinking
I
and
wasn't there for
repeatedly
that.
backflipping?
So, she
This is normal behavior.
she sees you pointing down and you're saying that's your man, and she looks confused. She just nods and hurls herself off the stairs.
Oh my god.
Let's go!
She
Zero
falls.
consequences.
She falls and strikes the bottom with a meaty smack. Her bones eject from her body for a little bit.
Oh
and
my
after-
god.
And after a couple seconds, you see them like snap back into place, and then she's perfectly fine at the bottom.
Riley would turn to give her a big thumbs up, be like, "Nice!"
Yeah, she also gives you big thumbs up, big smile, covered in blood, both yours and
Oh.
hers.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Zero, should we try?
I think I'm good, but you go on ahead, Chris.
I'm gonna test my limits.
You don't even have fucking like slow fall or anything to have damage. You're
I
just
mean, what I
straight
hope,
up.
I hope the guards are seeing this and like, fuck, we need guardrails.
Damn, we're playing D&D on stupid mode tonight, huh? That's crazy.
Crazy way to hurl herself off the stairs for no reason.
Yeah.
Sure, roll 30d6 for me. 105. You take 105 damage. Are you dead?
No, he's fine.
No, I'm still good.
What number is your hit point at?
I think I'm at 28.
If I did 105 damage in a single hit in a combat encounter, you guys would be mad. You guys are doing it to yourself.
You guys would be mad. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's like an obstacle to overcome.
Hurling yourself off of ledges is your idea of fun, huh?
You've never played a video game.
I did it.
Yeah. As
He doesn't just like heal back. He's like a bloody pile of skin and bones on the ground. That's crazy.
it's like,
His knee pads will protect him.
yeah, his knee pads become his kneecaps after he hits the bottom. As you all watch, as he is on the floor, getting up, giving a thumbs up, still covered in blood. He sees a blue blur hurtle from the top of the tower, strike the floor. No roll. He just bounces about foot in the air after hitting the ground. And just a gout of blood everywhere. Blood vessels burst in his body as he's now bleeding on the floor. It's a bloody mess.
Alright, let's clean that up. I'll cast Healing Word on him.
That'll do it. Nine. Your kneecaps become knee pads again. The golden like faces get shunted about like 2 inches out of your legs.
That feels better.
Yeah, we'll rest it off later. Riley's gonna look around and see if any guards were witnessing that.
The entire time Vivuvius are just standing at the doorway.
You can make that thing a tourist attraction.
I'm gonna call out as I'm coming down the stairs. Zodiacs, everybody. That's the Zodiacs.
He is expressionless, emotionless, much like the Imperador, Gamut Cordier up there, and he just takes a big inhale through his nose, the whistling entering from the side, like the hole in his nose, the one that's not supposed to be there, and he just exhales slowly. I have decided in this moment that I will never understand you.
Well, that could happen to anybody. Think about that.
Not if you are careful.
Well, what if you trip over yourself? if your heels buckle at the last moment?
Then you were not careful.
What if you have impulse urges?
Then
Okay, that-
you are a fool. There is a truly grotesque amount of blood at the bottom of this tower right now.
Here, hold on. Let's fix this. Riley is going to coat Tempest, Retort, and Frost, and then freeze the blood.
Yep. You freeze the blood, and there's now frozen blood pooling.
He's going to use Tempest Retort as a pickaxe and cut the blood up.
Okay, they start chipping away. It's much like trying to scrape ice off in the winter. Some of it just stick to the bottom still. It'll take you a while, for sure.
Nah, I'll just get most of it down. And then the rest of it can stay there as a reminder that this can happen to anyone.
There is a probably about 20-foot radius of just pure blood at the bottom of this fucking this tower right now. You see that there's like two, like what looks like, you know, servants of some kind, like chambermaids, just sitting there, just like aghast that 3 people threw themselves off the top of the tower and got up to the tail, and they're just like, oh, whoops, I made a mess, and started cleaning it up. Like they were getting ready for like buckets and rags and shit.
Well, it sounds like they'll still need to.
Oh yeah, eventually. But you know, freezing the ice and then chipping away at it, you know, it'll take you probably about like 5 minutes for the whole thing to get all of it. It's that annoying ice where it doesn't chip in large chunks. It chips in like small little chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Canadian.
Yep.
And it takes a while, but luckily the ice lasts long enough for you to scoop some of the blood into the buckets. But there are still a couple spots that are missed, and it's going to be really hard to get. But once it melts, they'll probably take care of it.
Yeah. I'll just leave them to it. That's what they're here for.
That's true. Give them a reason for the job. Vivuvi's just watching you do this and doesn't say a word until the sane part of the group starts walking down the rest of the stairs, you know, like normal people with 2 feet. Vivu sort of eyes you, Zero, crossing down the stairs while Riley is picking at the ice. Eventually Zia just help you with her new sword, which is almost disrespectful because she just got that and is not even using it against like a creature, like an enemy. She's using it as
Wouldn't
a
have it any
shovel.
other way, to be honest.
Can you really make a weapon your own until you use it for like the stupidest purposes?
In Divine Fly Swatter.
Divine Fly Spider shovel, you know. But eventually, as the group reconvenes, Vivi sort of goes, "So, what was the final decision?"
I believe there was a contract made.
Answer you did not want.
I see. There is at this stage there is nothing I can do to stop it, and it is not my place to do so. So, despite my grievances, where will the delivery be taking place?
Right here, I thought.
And we were told outside the tower.
Okay, very well. You offload your goods, and I will gather about some hands to try to offload them from you.
Yeah, I'll open up the demiplane
Okay.
with permission.
Yeah, and he doesn't know what you're doing, but he assumes you're getting the goods. So
Yeah.
you open up the demiplane. On the floor, I'm assuming, or on the side of the tower. Up to you.
Yeah, something like that on the side of the tower.
Okay, probably easier to offload anyway. As you cast a demiplane, this square, this cube, just chunk of, hammer space, just formulates on the side of the tower, and just stacks and stacks of fucking crates, full of rifles and pistols and, leaden balls, projectiles, and powder. Lots of powder. Enough to supply a small, not quite an army, maybe small army, but definitely an elite task force. Yeah, and within a couple of minutes, you see a bunch of soldiers and hoplites just begin to pull the goods out, like one by one. Eventually, they get for the tall crates, they have like ladders and like cranes and shit, like pulley systems. They set up quickly. They like hammer out like a post into the ground, get like a pulley lever system out, and just begin to slowly crane and pull these crates out over the course of pretty efficiently over the course of like 10-15 minutes or so. And Vivuvius is just watching, just glass and eyes, just dead, as everything he didn't want to happen is currently happening in his full view, basically.
Can I like sidle up to Vivuvius and I'm gonna say to him, there were conditions in the contract. The Imperator agreed that the purpose of these is to be used against the invaders, and that they would not be used against the other legions. That was per my request. Purely because I don't want to be at fault for a large disruption of the very fragile balance that has been present between the three of you for this long. And I also told him that if I received word that he did agree that he would never strike the other legions first. If they ever tried to invade, he said he would defend with all he had, was his words, something to that effect. But I did also communicate to him that if ever the tides were turned here between the legions where it was too heavy-handed of a move, that I would be returning, or hopefully, if I live to fight, I would be returning to correct it, because that's not what I gave him the weapons for. And we shook on it, and I trust that due to powers beyond his own integrity, he will keep his word. But I hope that if there is a mess that is made here, and there's anything I can do to fix it, that if there's anybody that could ever try to reach out to notify me of that, it would be you. Because I know this was not a decision that you wanted for your people. And I can imagine why. But ultimately, this wasn't about just advancements of technology and progress. It's for the safety of everybody. But as I said, I did not bring them here with the intention to cause more friction between the three legions. I don't want that to erupt due to the advantage I've given, not me, but we've given the Bronze Legion.
I'll be right back.
Okay. He sort of sighs and looks at the weapons being offloaded. You see the hoplites, and they're very standard, traditional, warm looking, with like they don't have fur over their armor, like their steel loricas and everything. Swords of the hips are now just eyeing up these rifles. Modern, innovative, contemporary firearms. And there's this almost juxtaposition of this old, very historied and bloodied culture, almost set to their detriment in their ways. This warlike culture is suddenly getting like the latest advancement of guns. And Vuz is looking at the scene unfolding in front of him. The sun's fully set, and it's nighttime. Only the torchlight of the courtyard is illuminating the scene right now. As he's looking at this, sort of goes, There's a part of me that hoped that these weapons would stay in Sonia and Altus, which sounds it's maybe strange to say, but the issue I have is Sonia has experience with this. They had time to develop, to keep the secret away from everybody. They were strict with it. There are a few purveyors outside, but for the most part, the good method of creation was kept secret. It is not the Legion that I'm concerned about. It is the fact that knowledge cannot be hidden. Sylnia was good at it. They are very good at it. Spycraft is very difficult to achieve there, and we are not the best spies. But here, right now, in the Legion, there is another source. That same good that everyone covets. I have no reason to believe that the Imperator will break his word. He's an honorable man, and he keeps his deals. But again, it is not the Legion that I'm concerned about. The Jade Dynasty is very sneaky. They have spies, they have magic, they have eyes everywhere, and the Ironheart clans do not care about what they use to kill. And knowledge cannot be stopped. Once this knowledge comes out, once we learn its secrets, all it takes is one weakness, just one broken link, and the floodgates open to everything. What if the Dynasty learns the secrets to making these things? They have no agreement to not use them, neither do the Ironhearts. What if someone else comes in and finds out? What if this is a catalyst for their reason to invade? Beyond just food and land and honor, this is a real reason to fight over. I'm not sure, maybe I'm wrong, but the risk is enough to keep me away.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I don't know what arcane abilities people in the Bronze Legion have access to, but I'm reminded of a guild of assassins that we've encountered a couple times now. And one of them that we met, he had this mask on his face, and even in his final moments, he was unable to remove the mask. It just wouldn't come off, and once we executed him, the mask disintegrated with the rest of his body, and I don't know what kind of arcane bindings you'd have to have for something like that to happen, but that's the only thing I can think of if you had access to any kind of arcane ability to have these guns destroy with their wielder or something like that. Because as you said, yes, my agreement was not with Jade Dynasty or Ironheart, and while I can sympathize with their need for things like resources to survive, I do understand your fear of this knowledge and this technology reaching the wrong hands. That is my exact fear.
And you still
But-
brought them here.
Yes.
Well, there's something bigger than all of us right now. Due to arrive in less than a month. That takes precedence over everything else at present.
You're right. I just hope that you have not started a wave that we cannot stop.
If all else fails, when the weapons are no longer needed, I'm going to cast message in his head, and I'll say to him, water is very damaging to them. And, you know, if they went missing or if they were damaged, I wouldn't be upset, because at that point they'd serve their purpose.
He looks at you, not with dead eyes, but with lively eyes now, and says aloud, but quietly under his breath, so it almost like double speaks in your brain and in like audible to you. He sort of goes, I may disagree with the delivery of these mechanisms, but I will not sabotage the Legion.
I understand. So long as that is also a choice that you're at peace with.
He is beginning to look more, not quite angry, but more just disturbed. Just anxious, more just not calm. This ever billowing sense of urgency almost, and like he just needs to let it out, but he doesn't. He just kind of huffs in place a little bit and just sort of shakes his head, kind of starts pacing a bit, just looks at these weapons, just looks at everything, looks at the moon, just kind of grits through his teeth and just says, I'm not at peace. And after this, I fear no one will be at peace. And he just kind of storms off.
Sad reality, that.
It's possible y'all might be in pieces, though.
Sorry, it took me a second.
Oh, because he's at peace. I see.
Nothing like dunk onto this man's existential
Ex-
crisis with a joke.
Yeah, explain the joke, make it funnier somehow.
Our fate will be like Reese.
Say that.
Reese's.
Man had a philosophical crisis in front of you, and you're dunking on him with Reese's Pieces.
At least dunk on him with Dunkaroos. What's wrong with you?
So today will be our last session of the campaign.
The Zodiacs lose.
Zodiacs lose.
Everybody loses.
The Legion uses their guns to massacre towns. They can't, not legally. But yeah. The Vuvus left. You are outside the tower, and the soldiery around you are just ogling their guns that they have no idea how to use. Not yet, at least. Okay.
Well, that was productive.
Where to now? Business done in city?
I think Riley needs to rest off all that damage he took. Wink. Wonk.
You winky wonking?
I'm winky wonking IRL.
You winky wonking?
Yeah.
Uriel?
Earl.
Okay, where are you going though? Riley's going back to Dre.
We could go to the pit.
Is Bowen not saying he wants to go to bed?
That's precisely what I'm saying, yes.
Yeah.
Simon's like, yeah. So anyways, where we're going? What are we doing? Like, he
I'll be
he
assuming
understood
the
you.
role of Riley from here on.
Okay.
And the first thing I'm going to do is erase this session from my memory.
Alright. You winky wonked. I was thinking in game still.
Oh, no,
You're tired.
I'm bugging out, yeah.
Alright. Okay. But yeah. Guns in hand and potentially a fucking, who knows what the consequences of this will be. Could be good.
Shut up!
Could be bad. Or it could be gray. Like everything in this campaign is. Mostly.
I'm tired of you and your consequences. Shut that shit up. I'm tired of you.
Y'all get fucking, I call 3K. I saw 3K.
502.